we're going to get into some college football in regards to the Super League, which a group called the College Sports Tomorrow, the CST. They're basically a collection of these industry leaders, business, sports presidents, athletic directors, like these, high-profile power brokers that have come up with a system where there'll be just really one conference, one big super conference. It's nothing that no one has talked about, but now it's in writing, and we'll break it all down for you as well, the pros, the cons, some of the challenges I see, and where, maybe ASU in U of A would fall in this Power 12 conference is what it is, 72 schools, then a Group 8 conference of 64 schools. We're also going to talk some ACC football as we will catch up with one
Ted
Robinson, and talk to him about Cal, a place that he knows very well, the Bay Area, as Cal, believe it or not, finally gets game day. It took them getting into a different conference to get game day, so they'll have game day on Saturday as Miami will be there. That's the first time for them.
The benefits of moving to the ACC, right?
Yeah, big time. And then got some Cardinal football to get into with Howard Balzer. So that's all today on this program. Also, you'll have a chance to challenge one of the young ladies here at Twin Peaks for our Peaks Picks, which is always brought to you by Coors Light and Blue Moon. But let's get to some of the top stories. The first being that Steve Gilbert of the Diamondbacks is reporting that assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, Brent Strom, the pitching coach, the legendary pitching coach, and Mike Fetters, the bullpen coach, will not be returning next year in their current roles. Very important in his tweet, current roles. So that could mean that all three could come back in some different capacity, or maybe Steve's just being nice on how he worded it.
I think what I hear you saying, the reassigned, maybe.
I didn't see that.
Well, you said current
roles.
Yeah, the current roles could be, they didn't say fired. So if their current roles are currently the pitching staff, that they move on, what's their current role? They can move into being reassigned. Maybe they get to scouting. Maybe they go here, they go there. I would look at this and go, okay, you look at last year and how well the pitching, they struggled last year, but look at the playoffs, how well they pitched to go to the World Series. And then now it was all about the hitting. They faltered. So somewhere in the middle lies the truth, but are they worthy of being fired?
They have
for the
to
situation?
Blame somebody.
Well, I get that.
That's how it is. They're the scapegoats.
Yeah, and I get that. And that, to me, that's, as the organization, what they did last year in the World Series to this year. Yeah, now, everybody faltered the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
The bats, the arms. But I think the heartburn is what I see is these guys we talked about, they could barely make it out of 4 innings, 4 1/3 innings. So if there was something mechanically wrong with these guys or the signals were being crossed, i.e. with your battery mate or whatever, why wasn't that fixed? Or was it a matter of being overworked or not worked enough? But that falls on the pitching coaching staff, the staff. So I look at last year and I think, well, you look at Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Brandon Pfaadt last year in the playoffs, they went beyond, they go 5, 6, 7 innings. I don't know. You're right, Jimmy. Somebody's got to take the hit, take the fall. But Troy Lavello has got to feel bad that either he or Mike Hazen had to deliver that news and say, hey, look, guys, Ken Kendrick, he wants to change, and you're the guys that got to be the first to change.
One of the things that we used to talk about when baseball season was in full bloom, and this was one of Manuch's pet peeves, and he was dead on with this. And I hate to give him credit.
God forbid.
But he was dead
on. That's your one for today.
It is.
I'll take it, Jimmy.
No more of that.
Yeah. So he would say, he went 4 innings and he was over 100 pitches. And that was a commonplace for that pitching staff. And I haven't forgotten that, Manuch. And that, I believe, really had a lot to do with some of the very poor performances that we saw down the stretch.
Yeah, and I guess it's got to fall on somebody. I mean, the skipper can only do so much.
That's it.
Fetters is down there in the bullpen working with the guys before the game and working with the bullpen pitchers. So if he's not paying attention or they're not seeing something or they're not self-scouting their pitchers, then something's amiss. So the only thing I can think of with Mike Hazen, Ken Kendrick, the majority owner, Troy Lavello, okay, what was the issue? Why didn't we get this fixed? Because, guys, that lingered all year long, and that became a thing.
It did.
And we had Tom Candiotti on about a month ago, and I said, Tom, is this an issue? He goes, yes. He says, I've never seen a staff that can barely make it out of 4 to 5 innings. Mm-hmm. But the thing he said was, I've never seen a staff throw so many pitches. So they had to pull him when they're throwing 95 pitches in 5 innings. Heck, they'd end up throwing 150 pitches if they had to go 9. And that was, I just think that I could see where that would fall with this staff going, okay, you didn't fix this because this has been lingering since after the All-Star break.
Antonio Pierce, the former assistant coach at ASU, today he got hit with an 8-year show cause order by the NCAA for violations when he was at Arizona State. Also, Anthony Garnett, he was a former staffer at ASU. He got a 5-year show cause penalty, according to a release that came out by the NCAA. You know,
why not just give him a lifetime ban?
Why not just do nothing?
Yeah.
Why? What does it matter?
He's not coming.
He's
back
not
to
coming
college.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, he is now in the NFL, and he's going to probably stay in the NFL.
Agreed.
And it's a joke. It's just some. I guess attention Arizona State doesn't need.
I think it's the NCAA going, well, we have to do something because they didn't do anything for 3 years, 4 years,
right.
2020 when this all went down. Here we are 4 years later. All right, we got to do something. So let's give him a ban that he pretty much realizes he'll never come back to college football. And I'm like you, Rock. Well, hell, okay. Could have had a V8. He's not coming back anyway, ever.
You got to explain
college football.
Jax, do you know what that means?
Could have had a V8.
Could have been a V8.
You know
You
what
do?
that is?
What is it? What does that mean? Because our younger audience probably doesn't know what that is.
Isn't V8 that vegetable?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I know what that is.
Okay.
It means you take a V8 juice, you think really healthy, you think smart, you think good. It was a latter day Prevagen, if you will. So it's kind of like, okay, that's right. Hell, I could have had a V8. If I'd have thought that through a little bit thicker, a little quicker.
So when you look at Pierce and what he's getting in trouble for is free meals, apparel, airfare, some lodging to 27 prospects.
I like the strip club.
Yeah, the unofficial visits, taking the parents to the gentlemen's club.
Did Jimmy host that? It was Jimmy hosting that.
8 of the prospects did end up enrolling to ASU.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing. But, come on. I just, to your point, Manuch, the NCAA is just trying to make themselves relevant.
It looks silly, doesn't it,
3.
right now? After the fact, it looks like, okay, how about just a show cause, you ban him for life? Why not put some teeth into this thing and say, look, here's a guy that was very blatantly flagrant on recruiting with cameras around and really didn't care as the defensive assistant head coach / defensive coordinator. Why not say, hey, if this happens again, we're going to ban a coach, show cause for life. So they never does this in such a flagrant and arrogant manner, which he did, because he set the program back when you think about that.
Real quick, the Cardinals dealing with a number of injuries, including Matt Prater, their best player.
There's a shot over the bow.
Just think about that a little bit, right?
Isn't it sad that he accounts for most of the points when
does.
you think about that, Rock?
Yeah, he does.
I mean, the guy's pretty much money from 50 yards and beyond.
Yep.
Outstanding. Most bad teams have good kickers.
Yeah,
because they get a lot of practice.
Yeah. Who's the guy who had 6 field goals? Was it the guy from Tennessee had 5 or 6 field goals? I'm like, hey, sometimes you need them. The necessary evil. If anything, just if you get within range, your offense is struggling, then take the 3.
Yeah.
Take the 3 points.
So we are out here at Twin Peaks, and our headlines are always brought to you by them, but it's brought to you by our contest, which is the Fantastic Tailgating Sweepstakes. Now, this is brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's a season-long contest, and all you need to do, and I got to tell you, a lot of people have entered, so I thank you for taking the time to do this. Text Peaks to 59925. You can do it every day to win one big prize. Now, we have some first-place prizes, which are gift cards from Twin Peaks, but the big Mac Daddy is the grand prize, which is all the above. A Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle. You got to have a grill and a griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, which you can customize, a portable beer pong table or ping pong, an outdoor projector and an inflatable screen, a cooler by either Coors Light or Blue Moon, our good friends at Coco 5, which you'll hear a lot about soon with Michael Wilbon, who's we hope to be a regular guest of ours. A big time, like a $250 gift card to Twin Peaks, and some logoed Wild Gear tumblers that have myself, Manuch, and Jamie B on them. So there's no purchase necessary. It's really easy to do it. Just text Peaks to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply, and always make plans to hang out at any of the 5 Twin Peaks locations. So we are at the Deer Valley location. You can take advantage of 29-degree man-sized drafts. But coming up, some sounds from the Major League Baseball wild card playoffs. But first, something that was decided on this day that had the world going nuts. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 910.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale is the area's best-kept secret for sports entertainment. Complete with 2,700 square feet of TV screens playing your favorite sports, an exceptional food and beverage menu, and comfortable seating for all. This is where fans fuel their passion. Located on Scottsdale's premier golf course, DraftKings Sportsbook introduces an electric 19th hole experience to the links. Swing by the course in North Scottsdale to feel all the excitement that football watch parties, Friday happy hours, and weekend brunch have to offer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
It's Rock for Right Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Right Toyota and righttoyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, righttoyota.com.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. And 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know.
Yes, I got it on the email. Thank you.
Create memories, not only for him, but for myself. Though when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800.
I do the myself. And my family. He enjoys it. I mean, he's the only live one we have.
Than comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo stick for usage.
Stand by.
Shower Max use for adults only.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information.
How about that? On this day, October 3rd, 1995, the jury reached a verdict in the O.J. Simpson's double murder trial, and you just heard the both verdicts. Of note, the trial began in January of 1995. The murders happened June 12th of 1994, so it took a while to get to that verdict. And I agreed. I mean, he was innocent.
Yeah, right. He was. Sure, he was. Yeah,
he was out looking for the killers on the golf course.
And he was still looking for him before he passed away. Talk about the world stopping to watch that verdict. I mean, we were
in the chase before that.
Oh my gosh, yeah! I think everything I was recruiting Motorola. We stopped. The whole staff went into the big room and turned the TV on, and you're just like, what? And it was appalling. Number one, it was every emotion you had, and you heard the emotion from the Goldman family in the background. They're real close. That they they sobbed at the verdict. And one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. Ever.
Some other interesting notes today on this day, and we like doing this because it just takes you down memory row and
or memory lane.
Lane, whatever. But you knew what I meant.
Sure. Right.
Now I wasn't around for this, but I know Jimmy B saw it. 1951, Bobby Thompson's shot heard around the world. That was a 3-run homer in the bottom of the ninth, the final game of a 3-game playoff against the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. Giants end up winning the pennant.
The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant.
I mean, where were you? I mean, I'm sure you remember that
51?
day.
Actually, I did not call that game.
No, we know that.
But I, at that particular time,
what station were you at?
I was. I know. I knew you were going to say that.
You were in Topeka, Kansas.
No, I don't think so. I was in Moose Breath, Montana.
There you go. Also, some great shows debuted on this day that all of us watched as kids, at least anyone that's over 40. Captain Kangaroo.
Loved it.
69 years ago today, and I get to tell this story every year because I was on Captain Kangaroo as a kid. And Jimmy doesn't know this, but I think maybe I told the story last year if I was on this day.
Well, you've told the last 20 years, so Jimmy was around.
So Tug McGraw, the Phillies, was at a baseball camp I was at, and it was part of Captain Kangaroo's show. And Captain Kangaroo with the Mr. Green Jeans and the Godfather Clock, Mr. Moose, and of course Bunny Rabbit, all the good, all the celebrities.
You had all the
show.
characters, Rock.
So Tug asked the question, what's the most important pitch in baseball? What's the most important pitch in baseball? What do you think it is, Jimmy? Most important pitch in baseball?
I would say a strike.
Yes, that's what the answer was.
Oh, okay.
I said fastball.
Oh, okay.
And two other kids said something else. So, but I made the show by being wrong.
Have you ever found that footage? Have you dug on like Google or?
It had to be late 70s.
Probably.
I was probably 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
So, no. Also on this day, the Mickey Mouse Club premiered.
Yeah.
Think about all the kids that were in that launched their careers, from Ryan Gosling to Justin Timberlake to Kristen Aguilera to Britney Spears to Kerry Russell. They were all on that show.
They were, yes, but that was the second round of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
The original Mickey Mouse Club had Annette Funicello,
I don't know who that is.
Frankie Avalon.
I know who that is.
Okay, yeah.
Frankie was a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were teenagers.
Yeah.
They had to be I think they'd be at least teenagers so they were legal to work.
I think that was it. Yeah.
I think they might have fudged that a little bit from that standpoint.
The Woody Woodpecker Show debuted on this day in 57. And then my favorite show of all time was Underdog.
I loved Underdog.
Which was 1964. Also, today's the 50-year anniversary of Frank Robinson becoming a Major League Baseball manager. And that meant he was the first black manager as he took over the then Cleveland Indians. Let's get to some of the sounds as 3 teams are advancing to the divisional series in the Major League Baseball playoffs. The Tigers took down the Astros, swept the 3-game series. So the Detroit will now take on the Guardians on Saturday. Royals, they punched their own ticket to the American League Division Series with their 2-1 win over the Orioles. They will square off now with the Yankees, and that'll be on Saturday from the Bronx. And then in the National League, you had a nice rivalry there between the Padres and the Braves at Petco Park. Padres took care of that. They will face the Dodgers in L.A., and they're still one up for grab as the Brewers, they fought back to beat the Mets 5-3 to force a winner-take-all tonight at 4 o'clock from American Family Field. So the winner will take on the Phillies. So with that being said, let's get to some of the sounds from those games. Here's the final call as the Tigers sweep the Astros.
The 0-1. And this should end the run. And that'll do it. The Motown magic continues. The Tigers sweep the Astros 5-2, and they will move to the American League Division Series.
Is it probably safe to say the Houston Astros are the most hated team in sports right now?
I will say that they are the most hated team in sports when it comes to the playoffs. During the regular season, not so much because nobody cares.
But they were somewhat of a dynasty
all the way back
in
to
the last 10 years.
Yes, yes,
they've had so much success.
Yes, they have.
Because I think you can basically push the Patriots away.
Yep.
As one of the most hated.
Yes.
Because of Tom Brady and Belichick, people hated him.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys have always been in that mix.
hated. Yep.
The Raiders have always been in that mix. Jets have always been in that mix. Now, I was looking at a list. The Chiefs are the least liked sports team in the National Football League now,
Well, that
according to a
makes
couple
sense.
surveys.
Well, I guess
because of success.
Yeah. Why do people down success? I don't get it. Astros, I get it because they cheated their way to one of the World Series, so I get that over their head. But I mean, I think of the Chiefs. I think of the people envy. I mean, most people envy success. I don't know why people hate on success. I love watching, perfection and dynasties, how they do it year in and year out. I enjoy that.
So as we get in a little throwback Thursday, I found this story from Linkfluence, and basically they look at social listening data, and they found that public enemy number one for the least liked sports teams in the U.S. Now I'm going back in time a little bit.
Okay.
But there's a reason why I'm bringing it up. This is between July 2020 to July 2021. Who do you think the number one team was? It was an NFL team by a huge margin at that point.
Was it
2020?
Tampa Bay? Was it?
No, I'm trying to
NFL.
refresh my memory here.
It's hard to go back 3 years.
Well, yeah, it is. I
4 years.
I will say the Dallas Cowboys.
They were not even in the top 10.
Wow.
But it was, here's the order.
Okay.
The Las Vegas Raiders were number one by a big margin.
Wow.
Then it was the Dallas Stars, and then the Arizona Coyotes. Who would ever hate the Coyotes?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were never a threat.
No.
Never. Followed by the Sixers, Bears, Toronto Maple Leafs, which I can see.
Yeah.
Vancouver Canucks, those fans are awful. The Buffalo Sabres, Toronto Raptors, Denver Broncos, and then the Orlando Magic.
The Toronto Raptors are on that list?
Yeah, who pays attention to Toronto?
Only when they won the NBA title. That's it.
1, 2, 3.
Blue Jays.
4 teams in the top 10 that were from Canada.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Yotes, that one is.
Cardinals weren't on the list. Suns weren't on this list. I had like top 25. A lot of hockey. Some MLS in there too. But I just what sparked my interest was the fact that the Coyotes were number 3.
That's amazing.
And
I didn't even
where's
know.
the negativity with the Coyotes unless they would just because there's this black cloud over them because of the arena situation.
I think if fans tried to follow them, all the changes, the ownership issues, all the things going on, are they going to move? They're not going to move. I mean, if you're outside of Phoenix, Arizona,
why
you
would
don't care
you
about
care?
that?
Yeah, you don't even know they exist.
How would you care?
Hey, let's get some more sound in. This is Kansas City's final out as the Royals swept the Orioles.
The pitch. He struck him out. And the Kansas City Royals move on to the division series. This improbable season.
So there you go. That's the final out there, courtesy of ESPN. I think the Royals could be the next Diamondbacks.
Well, we were talking about maybe either the Tigers or Royals, but think about that. This Royals team lost 100-some games last
year.
To come back and make the playoff. In Detroit, they were 10 games back, guys, a month and a half ago to sneak in the back door last day.
They went 33-13 down the stretch. Detroit did.
Well, Diamondbacks lost 88 games in 2022,
yeah. But the thing was,
came back.
But they got
flipped that.
But they got exactly. But last year the Diamondbacks got some help from people losing. I mean,
Yeah.
think about that. They lost the series last day of the year last year, and they snuck in the back door. They got some help. I think more this last year's is these teams that have made it in have had some help. And how about the Royals and Yankees going at it?
That'll be fun.
Circa 1980.
It is.
I love the San Diego LA Dodgers.
I love that.
It's going to be so much. But the bigger thing, what I like about it is this is the first time we're going to see Shohei Ohtani in the playoffs.
Yes.
You know, he's been around 6 years, and we have not seen him in the playoffs. So now we're going to see him there, and I think that's the big story. The first player with 50 homers and 50 stolen bases. I saw a deal where in Japan they put up 113 billboards around the city that featured each home run that he had, each stolen base he had through the regular season. It's all over Japan.
Wow.
How cool is that? And how ironic is that Major League Baseball opens up next year with the Dodgers and the Cubs in Tokyo to begin the season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great
Pretty
series.
cool stuff. I love it.
Great series.
Hey, coming up, could Kansas, the football team, endure what could be the hottest game in history this Saturday as the Jayhawks and Sun Devils are gearing up for one of the hottest games ever recorded? We're going to catch up with assistant head coach Charlie Ragle next, thanks to Crest Insurance, as it's the Sun Devil Report. Next from Twin Peaks on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
7 players on the Cardinals' initial Week 5 injury report against the 49ers. They've re-signed defensive lineman Ben Stilley to the practice squad. D-backs pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters will be back in their current roles next season. Sun Devil hockey on the way. It's almost here. Tomorrow, ASU will battle Air Force on the road in the season opener. The NCAA found former ASU assistant coach Antonio Pierce in violation of recruiting rules during the COVID-19 dead period regarding former quarterback Jaden Daniels. Caused punishment. I'm Frank Garrett on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig match burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Envision a stunning putting green or a flawless lawn. With Tempe Turf installers, it's yours for just $550 square foot. 2 years of labor coverage. Call Mark at 602-348-7100 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate.
Feeling like your garage door shoes are a real game changer? And Lift High Garage Door Repair book. When it comes to garage doors, don't get sacked by delays or high costs. Lifted High Garage Door Repair swoops in to save the day. Lifted High Garage Door Repair on your roster and score big with top-notch service that won't break the bank. Call 480-270 matched service.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch Iowans in Phoenix? It's Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Bar. Enjoy great pizza, cold drinks, and cheer them on all season long at Upper Crust. Located at the 101 and Cave Creek Road.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports,
Presented by Elf Beauty.
The Houston Dash of the NWSL have parted ways with head coach Fran Alonso 3 months after he disappeared from the sidelines. Alonso hasn't coached a match for the club since June, and the team initially said his hiatus was due to illness, but more recently called it a leave of absence. Ricky Clark will continue serving as the interim coach of the season. He's the 6th coach of the Dash since the start of 2022. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to the Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast. 84% of sports fans are in women's sports. They only get 15.
Charlie Ragle now on Fox Sports.
with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Creston.
Charlie Regal now joins us on the Right Twitter guest line. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as this Sun Devil team coming off a bye week. So, Coach, how many rounds of golf did you get in on your week off?
That would be 0. Got some Pop Warner football in as a spectator. Don't get me started. People got to play a game, so I took my day off.
All right. This weekend, 5 o'clock start. Could be one of the hottest days ever on Frank Cush Field. If it says it's going to be 105, that means maybe 110, 115 on the field. And you got all these big butt guts coming from Kansas. Are you guys going to just ground and pound and try to just get these guys all gassed?
Thermostat, a little bit more. I just think it's a distinct advantage for us, and you know what? We've got to come out and play good football regardless of the weather. But certainly think that the home field advantage is going to be even a little bit more so on Saturday afternoon.
Coach, when you look at this team, I mean, KU, even with the 1-4 record, they're better than their record indicates, obviously, when you guys watch them on tape. But the key is Jalen Daniels, their quarterback. Seems as though he's kind of been held in check the last couple games, only like 6 yards rushing against TCU, not really pumping the ball down the field. But what is it about his athleticism that you got to have somewhat of a heads up with in this game?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that I think you are clear about that, but turn the table off. You got a talented team, right? When you think 1-4, not a talented, not a football team. This is a good. Every victory, and it's really been more so probably turnovers than anything that's cost these guys from being undefeated right now versus 1-4. And it's, as far as the quarterback's concerned, is does see problems with how he runs the ball and his athleticism. But I think the one thing that's back has been the ability again to not turn the ball over. In their case, turn the ball over, and it's cost us the ball game.
Charlie Regal's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Coach, I want to know about how you're going to take your team onto the field, and is it going to be raw, let's go, because you have started slow in the last couple of games. So how does that change just getting onto the field, if it changes at all?
Well, I think that has been something that's been addressed in our locker room for, meetings now. Obviously with the bye week and then this week of practice, we have to start quicker. I know we talked about that last week, and that's something that Coach Dillingham has brought up multiple times to our players. I think, Jimmy, you know as well as most people that all that rah-rah sounds good in the locker room where the AC set to 72. When you run out at 5 o'clock and that thing's 107, 6 on the temperature and probably 112 on the field, the rah-rah you got to have a desire, no pun intended, to play at a high level, play
You guys practice in the morning.
enjoying a little football game, 60 minutes in a nice warm environment.
Charlie, you talked about to us last Thursday about self-scouting, looking at the good, bad, and indifferent. I'll never say ugly. But you looked at that. What are some things you feel you guys can improve upon, and what are some of the things that you guys have fixed, hopefully, with the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think one of the things is we've kind of touched on it here and last week is, again, I think it's about mentality of starting fast and having a burning desire to excel or play at a high level. Not to say we didn't have that at the Texas State game and Texas Tech games, but we just weren't as crisp as we were in those first couple of weeks, and we found a way to win at Texas State, and we found a way to lose at Texas Tech. And so, I think a lot of it is really a mentality. And then there's been some things on, I think in every phase that we wanted to look at and go in and clean up. We don't get long-winded on specifics, but, we on third down one, obviously, get off the field quicker, and we didn't necessarily do that against Tech. And then I think, converting some of those passes that Sam would probably like to have had back against Texas Tech. And then, from a special team standpoint, let's not kick the ball out of bounds or get a personal foul on a kickoff return that doesn't get returned. That's bad football. And, like I said, Coach Dillingham has been hard on these guys about being smart and tough. And I think if we do those things and we play smart and tough like we did weeks 1 and 2, we're going to be sitting in a good position come Saturday night after the ball game.
Coach, let me follow up with something you just stated. Are you basically saying that whoever makes the fewest mistakes in this game is going to be the winner?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think you could probably go in college football every Saturday and make that blanket statement, and I try to give you guys a little bit more and the listeners a little more insight than that here every Thursday. It is really probably that simple. We talk to our guys, and I don't like this because I think it bleeds into negative connotations, but I think when you watch college football, more games are lost than probably won.
Sure.
If everyone can understand that, and so for us though, we've flipped that and said, hey, let's play smart and tough. Make no mistake, this is a really good. I know their record's 1-4, but this is a good Kansas football team. They're big in the trenches, and we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to answer their physicality and match them at the line of scrimmages on both sides of the football. If we do that and we don't, like I said, we're going to be overjoyed come 8:30. Our time Saturday night.
Charlie, last but not least, got about a minute here. You guys were scattered throughout the nation, I believe, as far as recruiting was concerned. Is it now at this situation of the season, looking at young men that you're interested in, or just reiterating those that you'd like to offer to make sure that they're doing well?
Well, I think it's twofold. Right? You've got the class that's coming up that you will sign this of recruiting is so far beyond looking at 26 and 20 the classes of 27. It's a combination of all of the above, maintaining and keeping those guys that are committed to us. They're out for your son holds in those 26s and 27 classes. And, I think that's critical as we build the program, and there's nothing more critical than winning games, because when you do that, it makes the recruiting a whole lot easier.
Go get them on Saturday, Coach. Thanks for the time today. Appreciate you.
Always appreciate you guys. As always, go Devils.
That's right. Charlie Regal joining us. Thanks to Crest Insurance Group for bringing us Charlie Regal every Thursday for our Sun Devil Report. Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out, crestins.com. That's crestins.com. Coming up, it's our underdog picks of the weekend and some football at 50. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Cutting-edge techniques and premium materials for a lush, low-maintenance lawn. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for a free estimate. Licensed, bonded, insured. Tempe Turf Installers, your trusted source for artificial turf.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last alone. Lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 9771.
Everything looks good on my side. I logged in and
text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill.
With the guy who grew up playing tennis, and his dog Guinness beat him last year in the fan pickup.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Rock, you got a lock?
Yeah, I do. Underdog lock. UCLA at number 7, Penn State. 28.5. Now the Bruins have covered the last 2 weeks in their losses to LSU and Oregon. That's why I'm going to go with the Bruins. What a hard schedule they've had
They
this year.
sure have a hard one.
Welcome to the Big Ten, UCLA Bruins. So with that being said, I am going to take the points. Go Bruins.
All right, Jazz, give it to me.
Manuch, you played the game, so this should be a no-brainer. They're
all my dogs.
Give us your dog of the week.
All right, Syracuse plus 6.5 traveling to UNLV. We're going to see if UNLV is the real deal or not. You got this basically Syracuse team playing really good football. Talk about big boy ball in the Big Ten coming out to UNLV, little Mountain West love. Plus 6.5. That is my lock for this weekend.
Sounds like a plan to me there, Manuch. I like that selection as well. All right, what do we got there? Go for it, Jasmine.
Finally, he's not Jimmy the Greek, but he's been calling the game for over 40 years.
What about the dogs? What about the dogs?
Jimmy B, what's your underdog pick of the week?
Well, it's interesting because Manuch took Syracuse. If memory serves me correctly, Stanford went to Syracuse and beat them at Syracuse. They are now home hosting Virginia Tech and the Cardinal getting 7.5 points. I am rolling with Stanford as the dog getting points at home against Virginia Tech.
All right, Jax.
I like that pick. I'm going to stay in the ACC. I'm going to go Cal plus 10.5 against Miami. I don't like this too much. I think Miami's a really good team. They're going to bounce back, but I'm just hoping the travel, the time difference, being a late game, that Cal can cover. They play better at home coming off of a bye week. So give me Cal to cover the plus 10.5.
That's a stretch. Game day. Miami trying to get the love that they deserve.
Cam Ward.
5-0.
Going into Miami.
So there are 2 top 10 teams that are underdogs. Number 9, Missouri. They're going to travel to number 25, Texas A&M. That's the 9 o'clock window. And then you got number 10, Michigan. got a little rematch from last year's college football playoff championship with Washington. And then another couple games set to look at is number 5, Georgia meets Auburn. Number 3, Ohio State takes on Iowa. Those are the 12:30 games. The late game will be the Cal-Miami game. So those are some of the big games. As we look at last week, we all won, which was good. Oregon at UCLA plus 25.5, so I'm going to run with my Bruins. Manuch at BYU at Baylor 3.5, not really much of an underdog. Jimmy B, Illinois 19.5 at Penn State, so he likes that. And then Jack's at Arkansas plus 5.5 versus number 24 Texas A&M. So we all won our locks, our underdog locks. So the standings go. I'm in the crapper.
Cellar
I'm
dweller.
2 and 3.
Cellar dweller.
4 and 1 is Jimmy B and Jackson.
Yep.
Manuch undefeated.
Yeah.
5-0.
Got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. Every once in a while, the blind squirrel finds a nut, Rock.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
Yeah, I like
You're
that.
You're a fat squirrel right now.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't get fat, dumb, and happy. That is for sure. I mean, the one games that you take a good look at it is that Miami Cal game, and you go, okay, Cal, here we go. What do you have this year? Miami. I think to your point, Jax, is okay. We want to prove the world. Cam Ward is the new quarterback, the leader, to go in there to California and say, hey, look, okay, we're here, we're live, we're well, and we definitely are back on the map in the middle of things. So that Miami swagger starting to come back around for the Hurricanes.
That Miami swagger was tested
Yeah,
last week, and they got a
catch or no catch.
After I looked at it about a dozen times, I thought it was no catch.
Yeah.
I thought I saw it come free. So I went with the no catch. But still, that was the play at the very end of the game, a Hail Mary play, and everybody was on pins and needles waiting for the official to come up with the announcement, and they probably took at least 5, 6?
Oh, easy
5, 6,
Yeah.
7
Oh,
minutes. Yeah.
I think Miami dodged a missile on that one.
I agree with you
They
on
didn't
that.
dodge a bullet. They dodged a missile.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're going to go undefeated in college football, you need games.
You need something
little
like
luck,
it. Yep.
or break something up, or a comeback, or something to that point where you hopefully separate yourself and get those particular wins.
So football at 50, the Kansas City Chiefs have taken over the Dallas Cowboys as the league's most watched team.
About time.
I can see that.
About
Cowboys
time.
aren't playing good football. Chiefs are playing very good football. They're not playing great, but they're playing very good football.
Wait a minute, Manuch, they're undefeated.
Yeah, but they've been a little scruffle up.
Well,
with
They're
it.
undefeated.
They're undefeated.
I get it,
Manuch.
but not to the standard of the Chiefs.
What's the
that we're
standard?
looking
Are
at.
you going to go back at the end of the year and you're going to go through the first 4 weeks and say, oh, man, that score, they only won by a field goal. You're not even going to care. You're another 4-0.
I get it, but they're not. We looked at the way they played last year, and they're winning, playing scruffy. They haven't even admitted it. They said they haven't hit their all cylinders. They played scruffy. They fortunate to win a couple of those games.
They have lost Pacheco, their best running back.
They lost Rice.
And they lost Rice in the last game. Jeez, Manuch, come on, man. It's the
all
NFL.
I'm saying-
You, if anybody, knows how hard it is to win a game in the NFL.
The thing is, yes, you were right, Jimmy. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
They're winning
Say
despite.
that again.
They're winning despite. Jimmy actually made a good comment there. They're winning despite themselves, and they admit that. They've had a couple situations where they're very fortunate on some turnovers and not lose a couple games, but they're not playing up to the standard that we saw them at the end of the year. I mean, they were scruffle-upless all year
Well, that's
long
the
last
end
year,
of the
too.
year.
Well, they finally caught all the drop passes. They finally, in the playoffs, started to play to the level of the Chiefs play. I like watching the Chiefs no matter what because they're never out of the game.
They never are.
But they have – there's been times I've seen a couple series where I'm going, wow, what were they thinking there? They get it corrected. They come back. And their whole thing is in the fourth quarter where they come and make the plays when they have to make them. But you know what? I'd rather take an ugly win than a pretty loss.
Manuch, what's their record, Manuch?
They're 4-0 right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
No.
How can you go down that road
I'm
and,
just
and even try to make a case on that?
Because I'm observing that they are not playing up to their level that they would like to be. They're winning despite that, which tells me that the other teams are playing are struggling. And then when Patrick Mahomes,
So everybody in the National Football League is struggling.
right after 4 weeks, majority of them are.
So
Even with
they're
some
4-0
of them-
amongst everybody. They're all on the same
even with
same pool.
Yeah, even with some of these last-second wins. Look at the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, if the Cardinals were 4-0 and playing like the Chiefs have played,
What would you say about that? Oh, man.
No, because that would be an upgrade because the Cardinals never played like the Chiefs. And
I just
won
don't understand why
championships.
both of you, both Jimmy and Dan Manucci, can't admit when they're wrong or they
I'm not wrong.
misspoke.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't have
watched
said that.
Have you watched the Chiefs games?
I've watched every one of them.
Okay.
I watched every game this year, and just about every single game.
They're not hitting on all cylinders. They've had a couple.
All I know is I'm losing money because they're not covering, but they're winning.
I get it. But
so you're looking at this as a gambler now. Now that you're 5-0, you're getting a little cocky.
Well, kind of, sort of. You know, my
no, you are. You really are because you're doing well on your locks and you're doing well on your underdogs. And I believe you're in first in our fan pick'em.
Yes.
So you're on this little roll, but it's a long season. I'm in last right now. I like it because I'm going to come back.
There you go.
Cruise and going to knock you guys out.
They
come back kid.
All of them say the Chiefs haven't looked as sharp as they were last year, but they're winning despite themselves at times. Hey, it's like my passes. I'd rather see an ugly completion than a pretty interception. And with this team, I'd rather see an ugly win than a pretty loss. It goes both ways.
So tonight, the Thursday night game, NFC South rivalry game from Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll host Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. The Bucs have won 6 of their last 8 head-to-head meetings between these teams, the Falcons. So, hey, Football 50 is brought to you by Twin Peaks. That's our home today. Make sure you get in our fan pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. You win $5,000. Never too late. We drop your 4 worst weeks. So here we are going in week 5. You basically start from scratch.
Apparently, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't very good.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
And we got weekly
Not
Twin
yet.
Peaks gift cards
Not
as
yet.
well. Fanpick'em.com. Fanpick'em.com. We're going to catch up with Ted Robinson from the ACC network. He is part of the CW play-by-play team. We also will get into, is it a pipe dream or not? The proposed college football league called the Super League. We're going to dive into that at about 2:15. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Jackson's along for the ride, too. It's Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Tee off your Saturdays with the Happy Hackers Golf Show. Join Jimmy Bryson and Kevin Miragami as they bring you tips, laughs, and the latest in golf. Tune in at 7 a.m. on Fox Sports 910 or online at happyhackersgolfshow.com.
Tune in Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for Backspin, the golf show presented by Pigs. Play your best. The Backspin boys take you inside the ropes every week with guests and great debates on the game. Backspin, the golf show on Fox Sports 910.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today. Dial pound 250 and say great results. That's pound 250, say great results.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner & Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner Rowe today.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Broadcasting from the Raffy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
NCAA found former ASU assistant coach Antonio Pierce in violation of recruiting rules during the COVID-19 dead period. Regarding former quarterback Jaden Daniels, the current Raiders coach was handed an 8-year show cause punishment. Daniels' mother assisted Pierce in breaking the rules. The Cardinals had 7 players listed on the initial Week 5 injury report against the 49ers. They re-signed defensive lineman Ben Stilley to the practice squad. D-backs pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters will not be back in their current roles next season. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword GRAND at foxsports910.com. That's GRAND at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for another possible record-breaking day out there. Projected high right around 109 degrees. We're going to continue to stay warm through the rest of the week. Tonight, look for those overnight lows dipping into the upper 70s, low 80s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center.
You're live.
Welcome in, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910 from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. They have 5 Valley locations, and this is the newest of the 5. Basically, the 17 just west on the 101. So, what would you say, 20th Street, or what's it?
I think it's 31st,
31st
yeah.
Avenue.
Yeah.
I made it. But anyway, so it's Deer Valley, big target here. This used to be a claim jumper. But coming up this hour, we'll catch up with Ted Robinson. You'll also have a chance to challenge one of the young ladies here for our Peaks Picks. We do it every Thursday where you can win a $25 gift card. Today will be the Bucks Falcons. It'll be Kansas and ASU, and then Cards 49ers. So those will be the game. Right now, the ladies have won 4 out of the 5 weeks. So Kevin from Chandler won last week, so good for him. And we sent him his gift card, so he is all set. But top stories today start with the D-backs as they made some changes in their coaching staff as they have let their pitching coach go, Brent Strom, their assistant pitching coach, Dan Carlson, and their bullpen coach, Mike Fetters. They will not return to the D-backs next year in their current roles. This is from Steve Gilbert from MLB.com. So we'll see how that changes and if these guys will be back in some different roles or Torey Lovello is basically going to make some changes and bring in some new blood.
Rock, they had to do something. I mean, they have to blame it on somebody. Look, when Ken Kendrick, the managing general partner and owner, comes out and targets Jordan Montgomery as one of the worst signings that he has ever signed and reference that, you know the owner is hot. And when the owner's hot, then things get changed. To be honest with you, this may be just the beginning. I think there'll probably be a few more changes as well. I found it interesting when you referenced that. You said, what was the thing that he
in the current role?
The current role, yeah. Which
I mean, maybe we're reading between the lines but
here.
That
you
is
think
essentially what Steve wrote. He said next year in their current roles. So maybe that just leaves the door open.
Maybe.
I mean, Brent Strom is one of the best pitching coaches of all time.
Yeah,
the guy did a hell of a job with the Houston Astros before he came over here. So, and Dan Carlson, ironically, Dan Carlson played for the Phoenix Firebirds when I was their PR
Are
director.
you serious?
Yeah,
Really?
he was one of our starters. That was San Francisco Giants
Yeah,
AAA team.
yeah.
So I just was, in my move, I found a bunch of posters and all these old Firebirds, and Dan Carlson is one of them. I got to make sure I get him one of those old Firebird posters and baseball cards. I got some baseball cards of him as minor league.
You better hunt him up here. That could be worth some money.
Yeah, could be, depending on where he goes next, right? ASU's in the news. Antonio Pierce, the Vegas Raiders head coach, he has been hit with an 8-year show clause for violations during his time as assistant coach at Arizona State. Also, former ASU staffer Anthony Garnett, he got a 5-year show cause penalty. And these penalties stem from impermissible contact with 35 recruits during a 1-year COVID-19 dead period. Now, that included tryouts, tours at the facility, entertainment over a span of 15 weeks.
Just the fact you're just kind of sugarcoating it with entertainment.
You keep bringing it up. I don't think it's that big a deal. Gentlemen's Club, who cares? But it could be a bar. It could be, who cares?
I'm with it.
But free meals, apparel, I think airfare, lodging, those are the ones I think are a big deal. Taking a prospect's parents to a gentleman's club or a bar, who cares? Seriously, let's just, why do people get so uptight about that?
I'm not uptight about it.
Well, you're making a big deal about it. You did in the first hour.
Well, I did because I was there that night. I was on pole number 3.
Working? So you work at is it just guys where you go? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I understand
Your
perfectly.
hips still work, Jimmy?
No, I got to make some extra jack. So you know how that goes.
Are you the doorman? I hope.
The point that I found interesting about, and when we're making light of it.
No. You are.
Well, I am.
No, I don't want any part of this.
No, I'm just saying.
You're already down in that rabbit hole.
I am.
You are so in that
How much
rabbit
do you
hole.
charge, Jimmy?
Seriously, I mean, why would you even? How does that
Why
even
not?
come up in any way of thinking that you worked at a strip club on pole number 3? Seriously,
Because
that is the most asinine thing somebody could actually say.
Well, I'm not lying. I'm fibbing about that particular
Do
time.
you work at the one at Sun City, right? No.
The candy store. I mean, where are you working at?
But a long time ago, I did work.
Were you the MC, you the DJ?
I was the DJ.
So what would so why don't
It's
you
a long
introduce
time ago.
a couple girls right now? Do you remember some of their names?
Hey,
Because
Jasmine.
they're always like Violet Blue or
Amber.
Is this how you started your play-by-play career?
Is this what launched your career?
It was close.
in high school or college?
Hey, Amber. I'm Amber. Jasmine, can you please just fire up some rock music there?
Rock
Just-
music?
Yeah.
They don't come out to rock
Well,
music.
something funky. Something that's funky.
That'll get you in your
Y-
place.
yes.
They'll take you back to
that'll-
1950.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, but
Oh, whoa.
Well, it wasn't that long
How
ago.
far back did you work? I mean, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Answer this.
Yeah.
Did you work at a gentleman's club as the DJ before you got into sports broadcasting?
No.
Or during?
During.
Wow. I knew the business was tough to get
It
into.
was. So I'm not
Jazz, you going to play the music or what?
I'm not going to say where or the name of the establishment.
This was not on your resume when you
Well, of course-
applied for this job.
Well, of course not.
Because that would have totally put up a bunch of red flags. God, I wish Manuch was here. He would eat this up. He would say something stupid, and he would make the rewind tomorrow.
He's probably causing a 30-car pileup on the 10.
So how would you introduce the? How would you?
So if I had
Jasmine would play some music.
Yeah. Here we go now. So if let's just say it's Amber, okay? Amber's coming up on stage. And so the tune is
Make sure, hey, dude, I know we have like a 10-second delay.
Yes.
Just be
Oh,
careful
I'll
whatever
I'll
you're
be
going to
good.
say.
I'll be good.
All right.
I'll be good. So don't worry about that.
No,
So-
really? We're already down this freaking rabbit hole again.
So if she was coming up on stage, I would get a couple of her statistics, and I won't do that now,
Yeah,
and
good.
pass them along to the crowd. And then it might be something like, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one, the only, the blonde bombshell from Waco, Texas. Here is Amber!
Oh, my goodness. I apologize to Phoenix and anyone that's listening or on the stream or watching this on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Wow.
That was awesome, Jimmy. Any thoughts about coming out of retirement and coming back?
No, I'm not doing that.
So I know. I think the candy store's hiring. They need some help, you know. Wow. So how many years in broadcasting were you that you had under your belt prior to getting that job? And did your previous experience help get you hired?
In what way do you mean? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you,
3?
Jasmine. You know, the thing that happened to me was I was in between jobs.
Okay, fair. You didn't say that.
I know.
Okay.
But I don't like you get fired in this business.
Really?
Yeah.
I get it.
So what happened to me was a situation where new people came in and bought the station, cleaned house.
So as a sports reporter, sports director,
yes,
host of, like a Craig Fewey or somebody on television,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
Did you DJ at the Gentleman's Club in the same city that you were an on-air guy?
I did at the time.
Wow. So I could have walked in there. I'd be like, Fewey's a good buddy of ours. Hey, Fewey.
It was very popular. I only did that for about a month because I was able to secure another job out of town.
Yeah.
And because at that time, well, I guess they still have them. They have the clause where you can't work in the same city for at least a year. So from that standpoint, that put some money in my pocket, and I was able to survive.
Wow, we went down a road there.
I never should have referenced it. I never should have brought it up.
I'm glad you did, because it's content that we can use on tomorrow. Tomorrow. So you're gonna have to move the rewind up, because we have Jake Plummer from 3 to 3:30. You may have to do 3:45 or move it at 2:45. Because we got to have that tomorrow.
Oh.
That's a given.
It probably will be the only clip.
Yeah. No, we got 2 hours, and Manuch is not here to take up a lot of the airtime. Pipe dream or not, the proposed college football league, the Super League. We're going to go inside college football next and this Super League. The pros, the cons, as we enter week 6 of the 2024 college football season. It's pretty good stuff. If you're not familiar with what they're doing, you're going to listen. Then we'll catch up with Ted Robinson. He will join us at 2:30. We're out here at Twin Peaks at Deer Valley. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Looking for the #1 neighborhood sports bar? It's clearly Philly Sports Grill, dedicated to providing impeccable service and a mouth-watering menu of delicious food and drinks. Whether you're cheering for your favorite team or catching the big game, Philly Sports Grill is your ultimate destination. With 4 convenient locations throughout Phoenix and Tempe, you'll get the best sports bar experience. Experience the excitement at Philly Sports Grill today. For a location near you, head to phillysportsgrill.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale is the area's best-kept secret for sports entertainment. Complete with 2,700 square feet of TV screens, playing your favorite sports, an exceptional food and beverage menu, and comfortable seating for all. This is where fans fuel their passion. Located on Scottsdale's premier golf course, DraftKings Sportsbook introduces an electric 19th-hole experience to the links. Swing by the course in North Scottsdale to feel all the excitement that football watch parties, Friday happy hours, and weekend brunch have to offer. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Dreaming of a stunning putting green or perfect lawn? With Tempe Turf Installers, it's a reality, starting at just $5.50 per square foot. Enjoy peace of mind with up to a 16-year product warranty and a 2-year labor warranty. Our skilled team uses cutting-edge techniques and premium materials for a lush, low-maintenance lawn. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate. Licensed, bonded, insured. Tempe Turf Installers, your trusted source for artificial turf.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Cruz weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs. With hers, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans that are tailored to you 100% online, like compounded GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, all for as low as $199 a month with a 12-month plan paid up front, no hidden fees, and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/afford today. That's forhers.com/afford.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center.
Man from Little Rock at the start of this game. He's got to have it right now. And they take a field shot. And the catch is made. It's Ryan Williams, still spinning free. Touchdown Alabama, the answer in one play. 75 yards for the 17-year-old. Are you kidding?
Still a great game, Ryan Williams. I hope he takes down his kill everybody. What was that? The eye black. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I hope he
that
does
was
that.
a big mistake.
That was just not good. Well, a story that broke on Tuesday. We touched on it a little bit yesterday, but there's a proposal for a unified college football league called the Super League. And what this is, it would reorganize the 136 FBS schools into 2 conferences. The one conference would be the top 72, and then the other 64. And the league would adopt similar to the European soccer leagues, where you could get promoted, with
if you win, you move up the ladder.
Yes. What do you call it? You call it the relegate or the I can't say it. Someone help me out, please. Relegation, is that what it is?
Yeah.
The relegation,
Yeah.
the relegation system, right?
Yes, yeah. You're relegated to that first spot. If you improve and if you are a winner, then you make the jump to the higher spot.
So the system would have the top 70 programs of the 5 former major conferences, plus Notre Dame and the new ACC member SMU. Okay. They would be in 7 10-team divisions, and then the 8th division would be a second tier, which would make up the other schools, like the Group 5.
Yes.
So, and then they would compete in the Group 8 conference. So there's 7, then there's the 8. Now, there would be 8 division winners and 8 wild cards from the top tier, and the wild card spots would be determined by record, and there'd be tiebreakers, very similar to what we see in the NFL. The challenges I see is, first, how do you get the NCAA and the institutions to jump on board on this,
Yes,
right? That
right.
would be one.
Yeah.
You have the TV contracts and the grant of rights is one of them. The college football playoff with ESPN runs through 32. So, and then there's other conferences that have their own deals beyond that.
Correct.
So you have these big obstacles of millions of dollars in TV deals with ESPN and ABC, Fox, NBC, and CBS. And I don't know how they're going to be able to do it. And not to mention, you still have the House versus the NCAA class action suit that's going over there in California as they're trying to get that NIL revenue for the past athletes. They're trying to get that.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of positives here, too. I think you look at this as one entity that can oversee the players, oversee all the schools, basically embrace a collective bargaining, which would avoid any antitrust issues, which I think is big. I think also they're saying that the college athletes would have input on the rules, on the compensation. They would be part of this. There would be some type of salary cap, too, for the teams. And what's really good is the revenue opportunities, that 94% of the revenue would go to the Power 12 programs, and then the 6% would go to that Group 8, and they would split that. Now, they've said that they would also keep the rivalries there. So, the USC Michigans or whomever,
Right.
you're going to see those, or Texas, Oklahoma. So I think those things will be good. Now, if you look at the 12 schools and what they projected where Arizona and Arizona State would be, they would be in power number 11, which would be the Southwest. They would call it the Southwest, and it would be Arizona, Arizona State, Cal, Stanford, UCLA, and USC. Not a bad conference. And one thing I want to mention,
I'd buy into that.
One thing I want to mention, this is only for football.
Yes.
All the non-football sports would stay under the current conference system. The relegation part, I think, is what's interesting. And the thing is you can't drop. So this system doesn't allow. So if Arizona goes 0-12 or 13, whatever it is, they would not jump to that power.
Power 8, yes.
Yeah, the 8.
Yes.
They wouldn't jump.
Okay.
But you can only go up. You
Okay.
can only go up. Now, I'm not sure if you finish first, or they take 3, or they take 4, or they take 1. But I like the program. I mean, I think that if this could come together, you got this group. They call themselves the College Sports Tomorrow, and it's business people, it's former presidents, current presidents, athletic directors, basically power brokers that have the pull to make this happen.
All right. When you just reference power brokers, I'll give you 2, and then you tell me if you think that they would even buy into this, because the way that it is designed, and I've looked at it as well, they would lose some of their power. Who are they? The SEC and the Big Ten, who right now, in another week, are going to get together, Rock, and have a face-to-face meeting about the possibility of merging the SEC and the Big Ten so they can play each other and eliminate the Big 12 and eliminate what might be the Pac-12 and, of course, eliminate any other conference. It's all about SEC and Big Ten. I think that this has – I think it's a good idea in a lot of ways. I just think the struggle for control will really be difficult.
The money's going to be there no matter what.
It will
and
be.
These SEC schools can start negotiating their own deals.
Yes.
So if they want to make the money. Now, the way that they set up this so-called Power 12 conferences, and if you want to stick to the SEC, the Mid-South would be Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, Louisville, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. The Southeast would be Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Miami, and UCF. Then the South would be LSU, Arkansas, Houston, Memphis, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. So you got all the SEC schools in there,
right?
With some ACC, and I like it a lot. I mean, I think it'd be great. There'd be 13 games over 15 weeks. You got the divisional games. You'd have, I think it's you would have 5 divisional games and then 8 non-divisional games. That's what's super cool. I mean, and I love the fact that it mixes it up. The rivalries are going to stay, especially the in-state rivalries. The historic rivalries are going to stay. It's all based on geographic. So as an athletic director, that's big too for travel.
That is correct.
When it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then I like the fact that some of these Group 8 conferences, or there's 64 schools that are part of the Group 8 that would have an opportunity, like a Boise State, a Florida Atlantic, anyone from the MAC. Whereas like Liberty, look what Liberty did, and James Madison, what they've been able to do over the last couple of years. Who knows? I mean, you have a good year, you go undefeated,
you can move up.
I mean, I think that would be so cool for these.
I think
guys.
the concept is there. I'm just really interested to see how it would break down. And the other interesting aspect again is who is in control. Is it going to be?
It would be this group.
It would be this group, which means you're taking away the power from the athletic directors as far as they do the scheduling, they do all of that aspect
Fair,
of
but
it.
is the system broke right now?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of these ADs got to suck up their pride.
I know, but you know a lot of them, and so do I. That is not going to happen, and you know it.
We had at our Fiesta Bowl meeting last night. We had Greg Byrne, who is the he's the AD at Alabama, and he knows he has more resources than most. But it's like he's talking about the fact that they're in a deficit, in a lot of areas. He brought up a point yesterday that LSU basketball and South Carolina basketball, right? Huge, or women, right?
Women, yes.
They lost like millions and millions of dollars because they can't charge $200 for a ticket.
Right.
Like I'm going to the Ohio State-Oregon game this weekend or next weekend. Tickets are $800 to be in the nosebleed.
Yeah.
But you're not going to spend $800 to go to a South Carolina or an LSU women's basketball game. So the money's not there. And everybody keeps pushing this women's sports down our throat, but it doesn't generate enough revenue. The football and basketball teams have to bring in the money for them to survive. And when are people going to realize that?
Because they
stop
don't.
throwing it down our throat.
Because they don't. Because they see, and I'll bring it up, they see what Caitlin Clark did for the University of Iowa and then all of college basketball.
Sure.
And then you see what Caitlin Clark did as far as the WNBA is concerned, where teams who played in 10,000-seat arenas moved into NBA arenas that held 18 to 20,000 just because of her, and the ticket prices were just what you were talking about. $800 to go watch her play, but it doesn't translate. That's just one person who happened to be an unbelievable star.
So, all right, okay,
but I'm with you on that.
All right, but let's go back to your Caitlin Clark analogy.
Okay. Yeah.
How much money do you think they brought in total revenue with her? She was
at the University of Iowa.
Yeah,
or here?
The last year she was there.
Okay.
She led her team to the NCAA Final Four.
Yes.
She was the National Player of the Year.
Yes.
So Sportico, I just opened it up, and
Okay.
it shows me how much money, because it's public, on how much money they brought in. I mean, it's a lot, but what do you think it is? How much you really think? As big as that was,
yeah,
and that was number one, right? Across the board.
Off the chart.
Iowa basketball,
Yes.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
How much money did it bring to the total revenue for the University of Iowa's women's basketball program 2022 to 2023?
Is this after expenses, or is this just the total that you're
this
talking
is
Does it say?
ticket sales.
Okay. Just total in
revenue.
general.
Total revenue.
Okay, I'd say $10 million.
3.8.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Okay. It was ticket sales were, it doubled. It only doubled from the year before, but she was there the year before.
Yes.
But still, 3.8 million. That's nothing. Nothing. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep throwing it down our throat, but the sport doesn't generate the revenue.
Income. Yes, exactly.
But we get it thrown down our throat.
Yes.
The women's basketball, the WNBA. We know the WNBA is not making any money.
Well,
we know the NBA is subsidizing that.
The Caitlin Clark effect now is over in the WNBA.
That's not going to stop ESPN making it their lead story.
I know. They drew 600,000 viewers, where the Caitlin Clark game, where they lost, was 2.5 million viewers in her last game. It's amazing. Yep.
Yeah, it really is. But college athletics is having their issues. They're going to continue.
They are.
That's why I think the Super League has some merit. I think it needs to be tweaked, and there's a lot of people out there who are much smarter than we are, and I'm sure a lot of talking heads have their opinions on it. Some good, some bad. But I'm anxious to see where it goes. Whatever happens, it's going to take a while because of all these contracts.
Yes.
But hey, it gives us something to talk about. I think college football and college athletics loves the fact that we talk about that sport 24/7 like we do the NFL. It is. If you think about the sports we talk about on a daily basis, it's NFL year-round.
Yes.
It's college football year-round.
I'm with you.
We're not talking Suns in June.
No, we're not.
July. Well, June if they're in the finals, but in the
Not
summer,
July
we're not.
and August. Yeah.
So anyway, the ACC. They're going to take over the Bay Area this weekend, as both Cal and Stanford will be hosting their first ever ACC football games. And how about Cal? They got ESPN Game Day as they host Miami. We're going to catch up with Ted Robinson from the Bay Area and as part of the CW play-by-play team who calls ACC games. We'll catch up with him next. It's Roc and Manuch. Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Fox Sports 910, your home for Sun Devils hockey all season. And the season gets going tomorrow as they battle Air Force on the road. Puck drop just after 6. The NCAA found former ASU assistant coach Antonio Pierce in violation of recruiting rules during the COVID-19 dead period regarding former quarterback Jaden Daniels. The current Raiders coach was handed an 8-year show cause punishment. Daniels' mother assisted Pierce in breaking the rules. D-backs pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters won't be back in their current roles next season. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Looking for the ultimate spot to catch all the college football action and your chance to win $9,100 every Saturday? Join us at Philly Sports Grill for the Dos Equis Game Day Show, live every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at any of our 4 Valley locations. Each week, up to 20 contestants will have the chance to roll the dice and win $9,100. Plus, be entered to win tickets to the first ever quarterfinal game in Glendale. Plus, enjoy Dos Equis featured each week. Visit fox910gameday.com for details. Philly Sports Grill, the #1 sports bar where the game is always on and the excitement never ends.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Attention, Nebraska and Arizona fans. Catch every thrilling game at Arena Sports Grill, your official watch party destination. Enjoy great food, drinks, and the ultimate game day atmosphere with fellow fans. Don't miss a single play. Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to
The playlist there is good.
at RightToyota.com.
The playlist.
The right selection, all at Right Toyota.
Yes, the music you guys have on your background.
Biggest mistake people make is waiting too long before they call Raffy. Let us go to work immediately.
Ted is ready.
Call it Raffy. 623-388-4333. Call Raffy.
I think so. I have it. It's ready. We'll just need a tease at the end, but we're
is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out.
Rock?
Please text the 2 letters A.
I actually done radio for 15 years. I was live on Univision. It's just everything being Spanish.
To the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop.
I was, yes. Right
The
now
NFL
I'm just
season
doing
is underway.
online
Score
radio.
big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code
All right,
SPORTS to get
stand by.
$250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
Edge pressure. Ward ducks away. Spencer had him. Ward flips it to Williams.
Your life.
From the sideline. Pushed out inside the 5. The improbability of Cam Ward.
What a great play, a ridiculous pass, as Jax would say, against Virginia Tech. Cam Ward, courtesy of ESPN. Ted Robinson joins us now, formerly of the Pac-12 Network, now of CW. He'll be calling the Colorado State-Oregon State game Saturday at 3:30 local time. And you can always find him on Twitter at Ted J. Robinson. He joins us now on the Right to It guest line. How you doing, Ted? What's going on, man? How are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. How about the end of that Miami-Virginia Tech game? That was interesting.
Yeah. Catch or no catch?
Well, I mean, I'm just laughing. I'm saying, the guys called it on the field for better or for worse, and replay with absolutely no, incontrovertible evidence overturns the call, which does not do much for the credibility of Miami's position right now.
Yeah, big time. And then speaking of Miami and you being in the Bay Area as long as you have, Cal and Stanford both hosting their first ever ACC games, but ESPN Game Day finally making it to Cal with Miami in town. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I live very close to Stanford, So I'm about 50 miles from Berkeley, but there are Cal people around, as you would expect, and they're fired up. The only challenge, of course, is the old dilemma that you both Arizona schools have lived this forever, is that being out here, so game day means that people have to get there at 6 in the morning.
Yes,
the game's not till 7:30 at night. And that's what the Cal fans that I know in my life have all said that to me this week, is that's the hard part of it. And unfortunately, it's where we are. And bluntly, it's one of the things I think, guys, that even I, as much as I can't stand this, I have to admit that the schools in the West have to adapt to this, because it's what TV wants. The window that has value for the schools out here is the late night, the West Coast primetime window, late night on the East Coast.
All right.
And that's what Cal and Miami are going to face that tomorrow on Saturday night.
Yes, they will get that late window. So that brings me to my next question, because you were a Pac-12 guy. So now that the resurrection of the Pac-12 is in progress, is your opinion then that the reason they will be able to resurrect the Pac-12 with enough money is because those networks want still that late night window, and the Pac-12, with the teams that they are now assembling, will still be able to fill that?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, I don't like this because I've lived this. I know how difficult it is on the fans, and the stadium. Fans in the stadium are the last people anybody cares about in this whole recent turn of college athletics into complete business. So I recognize and empathize with fans, because it's horrible for them. But the market is speaking, and the television market is telling the schools out here, this is where your value is. And the previous iteration of the conference maybe resisted that a little bit. They paid a price for it. I think the new conference, the new iteration of it, is going to fully embrace it.
Ted Robinson here on Fox Sports Sign 10 Phoenix. All right, 3 ACC teams remain undefeated through the first 5 weeks. Miami, Duke, very surprising, and Pitt. Let's start with Miami, and of course we talked about the end of that game. But are they the real deal right now? I mean, they were flying under the radar, and now they're not. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on them right now, what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's good. I did try to watch a little bit of that Virginia Tech game, and look, they spent, they got probably as good a quarterback and running back as money could buy.
Yeah.
And they came out here to get him. Get Cam Ward and Damian Martinez from Oregon State. They clearly have boosters that are willing to buy a team. And, Cristobal, we all know from the Pac, fabulous recruiter, excellent recruiter. The question was always about game coaching and game management. That might still be there a little bit. The good news for Miami of Florida is that the ACC is still not a great league. It's just not a great football league. And it's not at the level of the Big Ten or SEC. So I'm not even sure what the rest of their season schedule is. But if they can survive this cross-country trip this weekend, yeah, they're going to be in good shape. Look, Florida, everybody thought Florida State would be a team. They're 1-4 barely. Clemson's rebounded. That's the one team you might watch. And again, I'm not familiar, guys. I don't know if Miami plays Clemson this year. But I know Clemson, after getting bounced by Georgia pretty handily, they've come back impressively. Their offense looks a lot better.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, Klublik, the QB, is playing much better now for the Clemson Tigers. I want to know what you think so far, 4 or 5 games into the season. Is it still a situation in college football, at least in your eyes, Ted, that it is the same as it always has been as far as what you see on the field? Or do you see it changing in some way?
Well, okay, let me ask you, are you talking about how the game is played?
Yes.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing in pro football is going to start leaking. That it always does. It's going to leak back into college football. What are you seeing in the NFL this year? You're seeing way more running, right? After a decade plus of running backs being devalued and everybody throwing the ball all over the place. Now defenses have adjusted. Everybody's playing 2 safeties deep. And now you watch passing. It's constant 5 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. I think that's going to bleed down into even the upper level. I say down, even though the upper level of college football is now the NFL G League. I think the way the game's being played, that's what will happen. I think the bigger question to me, guys, which is the stuff none of us who really enjoys talking about, but is the UNLV quarterback quitting on his team, just quitting.
Yeah.
And, I'm surprised it took this long to happen. It's going to continue to happen because the schools, by the law, and I emphasize that with massive air quotes, can't get involved in the NIL payments. And so the kid claims that he was promised money. The school says, hey, not our problem. You got to talk to the collective. Well, do you have a contract with the collective? Are you going to sue the collective? Because the collective probably can out-lawyer you all day long.
Yeah.
My point is, this is just another little branch of the incredible chaos that college football has been thrown into. And the downside to me is this. So this kid comes from, a lower level football school, Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass. He comes out to UNLV. They start well. They've got a chance to have their best football season in a long time, right? They have a chance to play on the national stage November, December. And the kid just quit on his team. He didn't quit on the school or his coaches. He quit on his teammates. Now, next year, they're going to have an agent that's going to go out and sell this kid to schools. And you know what is really sad to me is somebody will take him.
Yeah.
Somebody will take this kid because they're that desperate to win. And I hate that because, Dan, you play. You don't quit on your teammates, right? That's what this kid just did.
Ted Robinson joining us here, Fox Sports 910. Pac-12, a conference that you spent a lot of time in. Gonzaga accepted the invitation to join them on Tuesday. Now you got Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Utah State, Washington State, and Oregon State. So you think there are more players out there? How many, and if so, how many you think are still out there to maybe jump and get the Pac-12 conference going again?
Yeah,
3.
I mean, look, this is the Gonzaga move was a home run. It's a home run in every way. It was something I mentioned 2 years ago when USC and UCLA made their move. I wish it had been able to happen even a year ago. It might have kept some of the presidents that didn't have a whole lot of courage from bailing. It's just a massive win credibility-wise. It stops all the elitist commentary about, you have a conference filled with state schools. And I thought that was very reprehensible by some national media voices that should know better. But that the conference, to directly question, look, they absolutely have to add one more all-sport school. They have to add somebody that plays football and everything else. The 9-school number is a magic number because it allows you to play 8 conference games. That keeps divvying the money up each school you add, so that's another consideration. I think now there's probably some realization they're going to have to go out and test the media market and find out, okay, what can we get? And, I think everyone has learned their lesson in amongst the pack to be realistic in that assessment. The unrealistic approach, 2 years ago blew up the league. So be realistic, have an idea what you can then take back to the next people you're going to ask and say, here's a range we think we can get. And the greatest part of all this to end is that the Pac-12 under Teresa Gould and led by Oregon State and Washington State has been proactive. After being reactive as a conference for way too long, they've been proactive. And as a result, they've won. They outflanked the Mountain West. I don't take any glee in saying that because I like the Mountain West a lot, but the Pac-12 outflanked them. And they're going to end up in a pretty good place. No one's kidding anybody. They're not going to be the SEC and the Big Ten. No one should suspect that. But they're going to rise from the ashes and be viable again.
Ted, we got about a minute left here. Sacramento State, they will get a new stadium for that school and move into the Pac-12. Your thoughts on a city investing now in the school that is in that city in Sacramento?
Well, the city's investing. They have a couple of individuals that were investing, one of whom I know personally is the owner of the Sacramento Kings, Vivek Ranadive. He's very committed to helping Sacramento State. Their goal is to make the jump up, and the Pac-12 would be a dream. I'm not sure if the Mountain West would be something they would look at, but obviously they have a transition period, and every school we know that goes through that, you're not going to be competitive for a while. So if a conference is offering Sac State membership, they have to understand that football-wise, they're just not going to be there for the X number of years it takes to transition into D1. Every school, especially in our part of the country, I think of UC Davis, for example. that was a Division II powerhouse. And it took them a while to transition up to where they could be competitive in the D1 level in the Big Sky. So, but the good thing for Sac State, they have money behind it.
Ted, real quick, as we go to break, I think it's November 22nd or 23rd, Oregon State, Washington State. Both these teams are playing pretty good. Who has the edge here on October 3rd for this head-to-head matchup?
Wow. It's two different games. Oregon State better defensively right now. Washington State is really struggling defensively. Washington State's pretty good offensively. Oregon State is a run team. They are an old school throwback to their identity. We're going to beat you up. We're going to run the ball down your throat, and we can stop you enough on defense to win. To project 6 weeks from now, who's healthy, et cetera.
Yeah.
The game's going to be in Corvallis. Of course, that's an ad for the Beavs. But to me, it's the contrast between the way they're playing that's fascinating.
Interesting. Ted, thanks for making time for us. We always appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a good week.
Great to be with you guys as always. Thanks.
Ted Robinson Saturday, he'll be calling the Oregon State, Colorado State, both teams in the Pac-12 now. That game's on 3:30 on the CW. Coming up, we need a contestant to challenge one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls. Today will be Bella. We are at the Deer Valley location. It's our Peaks Picks brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. We'll take caller number 5 at 602-260-9191, 260-9191. It's Bucks at Falcons, Jayhawks at Devils, Cards at 49ers. Those are the 3 games you're playing for a Twin Peaks gift card. That's next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, live from Twin Peaks, Deer Valley.
Looking for the ultimate game day hangout? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint, Chandler's go-to sports bar. With over 30 big screens, you won't miss a single play of any game. Plus, we've just launched our all-new fall menu, packed with mouth-watering bites and exciting drink specials. We've got everything you need for the perfect game day experience. Bring your crew to BKD's Backyard Joint, located at 980 East Pecos Road in Chandler. That's BKD's Backyard Joint. Your backyard, your team, your bar. BKD'sBackyard.com.
Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Envision a stunning putting green or flawless lawn. With Tempe Turf Installers, it's yours for just $550 per square foot. Enjoy up to a 16-year warranty and 2 years of labor coverage. Call Mark at 602-348-7190 or visit TempeTurfInstallers.com for your free estimate.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need. Available at your favorite stores, Cocoa 5, active hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Gain sent bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Time for Peaks Picks, your weekly chance to win a $50 Twin Peaks fan card by outscoring one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks, the best views in the game. Open in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, and Deer Valley.
Deer Valley. This is the newest. And we have what we call the Peaks Picks, thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. Always specials on Thursdays with Blue Moon and Coors Light drafts. And the ladies are 4-1 with their Peaks Picks, as last week Kevin and Chandler won. This week, and if you recall, we said if Kevin won, we were going to double the gift card, which we did. So we doubled it. So he got 2 Twin Peaks gift cards. Today it'll be Randy and Mesa competing against Bella. Now Bella is here, and it's only her 5th day at Twin Peaks. So she is you're in training, right?
I am, yeah.
And you told us during the break that you grew up in Hawaii. Which island?
Maui.
Wow.
Just most basic island.
Is it? I've never been to Hawaii.
It's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see.
What's the best time of year to go?
Summer.
It is.
Yeah.
Our
fewer,
summer?
Oh, yeah, I've gone. It's fewer people.
I mean, you
in
got
the
your
summer.
shirt on right now. You're ready to go.
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
you're all Hawaiianed up.
Hey, I'm over hanging out at the Polynesian Village on the far side of the island. I go to the North Shore, do a little surfing over there.
Shut up.
And,
You ain't going surfing at your age.
well, no, I'm not talking now.
Oh, okay.
When I went, yeah, look, I'm 92.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Bella,
Come
does he
on.
look like he's a surfer? Would he fit in?
He could surf. He could
No.
surf.
Yeah,
You look
right,
like you
Bella.
could
Thank you,
surf.
Bella.
Come
Thank
on.
you.
Do
Thank
I
you.
look like I could surf?
Yeah,
Damn straight.
Yeah, of course you can. Good comeback there. All right, so we have 3 games. You're competing against Randy and Mesa for a Twin Peaks man card.
All right.
And the first game is tonight's game, which you can watch right here at Twin Peaks. And that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're at the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you like in this one, Bucks or Falcons?
Bucks.
Going with the Bucks. All right. Randy, what's going on, man? How you doing today? Who do you like in this one, Randy?
I think we lost him.
All right, Jazz, why don't you take his picks off the air since we have a bad connection with his phone.
Got it.
But that's all right. So we'll get his picks, so we'll figure that out. So, all right, let's go to the next one, Jimmy.
The next one is college football. ASU playing this Saturday. Kansas Jayhawks are the opposition. Kansas at ASU. Sun Devils or the Jayhawks?
Sun Devils.
Okay.
Sun Devils. All right.
I'm
Well,
from here, so.
you got to go with the home team.
Exactly.
All right. We'll find out what Randy went with here in a moment. All right. Then Cardinals and 49ers. They're over there in the Bay Area. It's the 1 o'clock kickoff. We need the winner of this game and the score.
The score, all right. 49ers 31-14 because the Cardinals defense suck.
Whoa! You want to work sports radio with commentary like that?
Good, Bella.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
it, Bella.
Just to take a recap, so Jasmine's telling us that Randy went with the Bucks and went with ASU, and the score he is taking 49ers 30-14.
Okay, close.
Wow, really close. 30-14, and Bella went 31-14. So good stuff there. So good job, Randy. Sorry our connection didn't work, but if you win, we'll get you your gift card. But otherwise, when do they take the training wheels off, and when are you on your own?
I'm actually on my own tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah,
Good
and then
stuff.
So should we invite everybody and sit in your
Yeah.
section and put you in the weeds?
Exactly, yeah.
You want to be in the weeds?
I could do it.
On your first day, we're going to put you in the weeds?
They have me working at doubles, so.
We're
there
going to
you
double
go.
tomorrow. All
Yeah,
right, that's
all right.
good. So
I love being that you're from Hawaii. I used to go snorkeling at Hanama Bay.
So beautiful.
Absolutely fantastic. I loved it there.
You think she cares?
Yeah,
Seriously.
she just
care.
said,
Come
yeah,
on.
That's
no.
her. That's her hood. Hanama Bay is her hood.
Well, hey, you're going to love working here. It's unbelievable ownership, great managers here.
Yep, I
You're in a
already
good
love it.
place. Deer Valley is awesome. It's a great location. And you'll see us back here in a few weeks. But thank you
Perfect.
for playing our Peaks Picks today.
Thank you.
That's Bella from Hawaii, but now lives here.
Yes.
So she likes the Bucks, Devils, and 49ers. So good stuff there. And again, the girls are 4-1.
Amazing.
They've been doing really well. But we do want to remind you that there are 5 allocations, and we do have our free annual Pro Football Pick'em contest. We've been doing it for 15 years. It's your chance to win $5,000, and you can still win, even though 4 games or 4 weeks, I should say, are in the books because we knock off your 4 worst weeks. So we also got weekly Twin Peaks gift cards. It's all at fanpick'em.com. You can see how we're doing, some of the other guys on the station as well. Just head to fanpick'em.com, fanpick'em.com. Do we have time for
we got a couple minutes.
Jimmy B's really bad dad jokes?
Let's do it.
All right, Jasmine, we need you in this one.
Time for Roc's really bad dad joke of the day. I mean, really bad. Like, really bad. Here's Roc.
All right, so I was a little short on time this morning, so I tried to get a few in here, so we'll just go with this. So what do you call a funny mountain? What do you call a funny mountain?
A funny mountain?
Funny mountain. What do you call a funny mountain?
I have no idea.
Hilarious.
Oh.
Pretty good, huh?
That's pretty. Yeah.
No.
All right.
No. So the other day, well, this is a long time ago, but I told my doctor that I broke my arm in 2 places, right? From playing tennis, right? And he said, I just need to stop going to those places.
I went to the doctor, and I told the doctor it hurts when I do this, lifting my arm up in the air. Doctor said, don't do
it. Exactly. Do you know these are bad, I told you. Do you know the strongest day of the week? Do you know the strongest day of the week?
Strongest day of
the week.
God, no. I'm
Friday?
No, it's Saturday or Sunday. The others are weekdays.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was.
What do you call a train carrying bubble gum, guys? What do you call a train that carries bubble gum?
Jacks?
A choo-choo train.
Oh,
and one more.
Yeah, hurry up.
Where do I go? Why do nurses always carry a red crayon? Why do they always carry a red crayon?
They're candy stripers?
Nope. In case they need to draw blood.
Jeez.
I like the choo-choo one. That one got me.
Because I built it up a little bit.
That was good.
I mean, I could have gone, what's the hardest part about skydiving? The ground. That's not bad, right? Could have went with that one.
Yeah.
Hey, hour number 3 is coming up. We can't wait to get there.
Yes, exactly.
An anonymous poll reveals how many NFL players really care about Taylor Swift. Yes. And who's the most disliked team in sports right now? Is it the Astros, Cowboys, Jets? We'll dive into that. Charlie Regal will join us, and Cardinals beat writer Howard Balzer. All coming up in the 3 o'clock hour.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports
Can I
Marketing.
have a teaser, please?
To pick games each week, sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em.
Hello?
You're good. Whenever you're ready. Perfect.
With Level 5 Lighting. Visit level5lighting.com now.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Diamondbacks pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters will not be back in their current roles next season. The NCAA found former ASU assistant coach Antonio Pierce in violation of recruiting rules during the COVID-19 dead period regarding former quarterback Jaden Daniels. The current Raiders coach was handed an 8-year show cause punishment. Daniels' mother assisted Pierce in breaking the rules. The Cardinals had 7 players listed on the initial Week 5 injury report as they get sent for the 49ers. They re-signed defensive lineman Ben Stilley to the practice squad. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword money at foxsports910.com. That's money at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the upper 70s, low 80s, and another hot day for your Friday with daytime highs right around 110, probably breaking yet another record. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Evernorth Care Group. Hey, Arizona, looking for healthcare with a human touch? It's here. Evernorth Care Group provides truly personalized, affordable, integrated care for your body and mind at 18 convenient healthcare centers across the valley. Evernorth Care Group treats you better. Schedule today at evernorthcaregroup.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center.
As the big voice guy just told you, do want to remind you we have an incredible promotion. It's called the Fantastic Tailgating Sweepstakes, and it is, of course, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. It's an incredible prize. It's their biggest in 20-plus years. Manuch and I have been doing this. We are giving away one big super prize, one big grand prize, a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an inflatable screen, a Blue Moon Coors Light cooler, one of the two, multiple cases of Cocoa 5, which you'll hear more about Cocoa 5 as we get into the basketball season. It's Devin Booker's company along with Charles Barkley. A $250 Twin Peaks gift card to buy food to cook. Here, bring and use it in all this good stuff that we're giving you. And then, some logoed Wild Gear tumblers. So it's a really cool promotion. You just text Peaks to 59925. You can do it every day. Standard message and data rates do apply. No purchase necessary. And again, as I mentioned, you can do it once a day. And if you want to see all the prizes, just go up on our website, rockandmanuch.com, and you'll see it all there. But we are Twin Peaks Deer Valley. And I saw this poll that came out. It was an anonymous poll. I'm just curious, Jimmy, have you ever wondered how the NFL players felt about Taylor Swift basically taking over their sport?
Never, ever, ever crossed my mind. I could care less.
Well, according to an anonymous poll.
Yeah.
They're overwhelmingly
like her.
Yes. Oh, no.
Yes,
no. You not play that on this show.
Go for it, Jasmine.
Not when I'm here. No Taylor Swift crap on this show. No.
Go for it, Jasmine.
72.
I was ready.
72.5%. 72.5%.
That's a lot.
Say that Taylor's presence
yes.
at Kansas City Chief games has been positive for the league. 22.5% don't think it has any effect either way.
All right.
And the percentage I'm in, 4.9% think it's negative.
Well, that's why you're in that category.
So one of the haters,
4%.
one of the haters said that I feel like this is getting unnecessarily coverage, and the whole NFL opening season video on Twitter where she was featured 5 times, and our quarterback was featured none.
Well,
that's not even right. She's not the NFL. Now, on the positive side, one player said that at the end of the day, it's a business. And you need to get as many eyes as possible.
Agreed.
And she brings a lot of eyes. So, if that increases the salary cap, I don't think anybody's going to be too mad about it. And so, in 102 players,
yes,
we're polled. We mean yes.
You said 102 players.
The first time I said it.
72%.
I understand why you always just say yes. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, 102 players you just referenced.
That's correct.
72% said that she was good for the league.
That's correct.
Okay, there you go. 72% out of 100.
You don't even know. Jax totally knows where I was going with that. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
He has no clue.
No, he does. He has more of a clue than you think. So are the Astros the most hated team in sports right now? I think so many people were happy they got knocked out last night.
Well, the cheating scandal still resonates with baseball fans.
Yeah,
it certainly
they
does.
never came out and said, hey, we're sorry.
No, they never really did that.
They never got in trouble.
Nope. I can tell you this. During the regular season, I don't think people pay much attention to them. The Astros, for the most part, they're not like the Yankees. They're not like the Dodgers that have a fan base all across the country that follows them wherever they go. But I think when it comes to the playoffs, I think people really enjoyed seeing Houston get swept.
Dude, you know a guy by the name of Barry Weingart?
Yeah.
Okay. Figures you do. He just texted us into our radio show. Hey, love the show. Best part being Jimmy B. So now you have your friends sending emails into the show? What is that all about? It just popped up on my feed. I'm like, what the? Seriously. That's not good. We don't need that. Barry, there's a lot of radio stations in the market.
No, don't tell them to go elsewhere.
You can go, that's why we live in America. You have choices.
Yes.
Freedom of speech.
That's why he likes the show.
Wow. Hey, some news that came out earlier today regarding the Arizona Diamondbacks. I just want to pass this on if you didn't see it. According to Steve Gilbert, MLB.com, pitching coach Brent Strom, bullpen coach Mike Fetters, and assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson will not return to the Snakes next year in their current roles.
So what do you make of that?
They're fired.
Is it just a scapegoat move? Because
I don't know.
Ken Kendrick's upset, and he forced the front office to make a move.
I'm not for. Maybe the skipper I see sometimes you got to make a move, but pitching coaches and the bullpen coaches, you think that really makes a difference?
For me personally, who else are they going to axe? They're not going to axe Lavallo. We know
Lavallo. Who's that? Lavello?
Lavello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lavello. They're not going to axe him. So they force him to make a move, and the move was the pitching was shabby the entire season. It cost them tremendously on a horrible contract that Kendrick even came out and trashed a guy named Jordan Montgomery, paid him $25 million to suck pond water the entire year. And so you get the phone call from the boss, and the boss says, you got to do something. You got to make some moves. We got to make sure that we are in the playoffs next season, and you got to do it now. Okay, there are the three guys. They're the scapegoats.
Okay, but, who puts the pitching staff together?
I'm well aware of that.
Strom, 75 years old. He's been doing this a long time. I think he was 3 seasons with the D-backs, if I'm not.
I think that's
about right.
Yeah.
But look what he did with the Astros.
I know.
He was there 7-8 years and had a lot of success there. Guys like that, they've been around a long time. Maybe the old school, maybe it's all new school. Maybe these general manager, assistant general manager, all into analytics and all that other crap that I think a lot of teams are into. But, they did have a 4.62 ERA. That was the 4th worst in majors. They allowed 741 earned runs, which 3 more than the White Sox.
Oh!
Who lost 121 games?
They did.
So I don't know. I don't know.
You have to make a
coach
move.
Is going to make a big difference.
You have to make a move.
My biggest problem is Dan Carlson. I knew him when he came up through the San Francisco Giants. 23 years he's been in this organization. And, he's been the assistant coach. He has been, for many of those years, 20 of them, on the minor league side. But I hope that they find another place for him. Maybe that's where Steve mentioned Steve Gilbert, current role. So maybe he'll get back into, AAA, AA, or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
they could reassign him.
Yeah. So I hope that's the case. But, that's a big story today. Also, if you didn't see it, regarding the Arizona State Sun Devils and Antonio Pierce, he was hit with an 8-year show cause order for the NCAA violations.
Whoop-de-doo.
Anthony Garnett, the former Arizona State staffer, he got a 5-year show cause. So, it's a slap on the wrist. It doesn't affect him other than you get some bad press for a little bit because of what he did. But aside from that, so what? Give me a break.
If ASU beats Kansas this weekend, you think anybody's going to be talking about? Nobody's going to talk about it.
The only people that are really talking about this is Antonio Pierce being a U of A kid at one point. I got the Devils.
Oh, yeah.
You got show cause. But, nothing's going to happen. He had a good career for them.
Yeah, I mean,
Arizona anyway.
He's the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And he's going to, depending on how well the Raiders do, he's going to remain in the NFL. He's not going back to college. So this is not going to affect him whatsoever.
What I think is so amazing about him, he moved up so fast as a coach. He was a high school coach through 2017, jumps over to Arizona State in 18, and he was recruiting, he was linebackers coach, and then he becomes the associate head coach. And then, does defensive coordinating, he's still doing recruiting. And then next thing you know, he's a head coach of an NFL team.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, wow. That was quick.
It's all
real quick.
It's all in the chain of command. And he happened to be the right link at the right time.
I think you're right about that. Coming up, we are going to catch up with Charlie Ragle as the Devils get ready for Kansas and the Jayhawks. Now, this may end up being one of the hottest games ever played at Sun Devil Field. Definitely in October, as they're saying 105 at kickoff at 5 o'clock. Now, I don't know what the temperature difference is. I was trying to look it up, and I saw 5 degrees, but I've always seen you always see that sideline reporter with the temperature gauge, and it's showing 120, So, you hope that the ground and pound, all the running backs are healthy for this team coming off a bye week. That should play into this. And if they ground and pound and you got these Kansas guys. But I was thinking, all right, what's the weather in Kansas right now? It's 80
degrees.
85.
Yeah.
I was hoping for 50 or 40 because how your blood thins and all that kind of stuff, that they would come in here. And, the stamina and everything else will be gas.
You can have 100 degrees once in a while in Kansas during the summertime. And it's
humid, isn't it?
It's humid. And so
I've never been to Kansas.
Oh, okay.
There's no interest.
Kansas City's a fun town. You would
Kansas
enjoy
City, yes.
You would enjoy KC.
But I don't need to go to Manhattan or
Topeka.
Yeah, any of those places are, don't need to go to any of those, or Lawrence, maybe to see a KU game.
Okay. Yeah.
Basketball.
Lawrence is fun. Okay. Yeah.
Break.
Charlie Ragle, next part of our weekly Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I-10 eastbound near Loop 303. We have an accident. HOV lane is blocked there. 10 eastbound near the 1710 split. have an accident off left, and 101 Price Freeway northbound approaching the 60, accident off right.
This report is sponsored by Ever North Care Group. Hey, Arizona, looking for healthcare with a human touch? It's here. Ever North Care Group provides truly personalized, affordable, integrated care for your body and mind at 18 convenient healthcare centers across the valley. Ever North Care Group treats you better. Schedule today at evernorthcaregroup.com.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Regal. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
When you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck, Learn-A-Row will take you from wreck to check, from crash to cash, from accident to whatever rhymes with accident. And we'll help you with all the details in between. We'll help you get to the right doctors, even if you don't have health insurance. We'll help you get your car fixed. We'll help you get your doctor bills paid. And then we'll fight with the insurance companies to get you every dollar you deserve. Hurt in a wreck? Call Learn-A-Row. We're with you every step of the way.
Learn-A-Row is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The Cardinals re-signed defensive lineman Ben Stilley to the practice squad. D-backs pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters won't be back in their current roles next season. The WNBA announced Indiana star Caitlin Clark as the Rookie of the Year in a near-unanimous vote. She received 66 of 67 votes. Chicago's Angel Reese got the single vote. I'm Frank Garrity.
The NFL season is underway. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus. Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center. Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Regal now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
Charlie Regal now joins us on the Right to It Against Line. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as this Sun Devil team coming off a bye week. So, Coach, how many rounds of golf did you get in on your week off?
That would be 0. Got some Pop Warner's football in as a spectator. Don't get me started. My son plays in this league. 4 or 5 million people, whatever, live here in Phoenix. So we had to drive to Tucson to play a game. So that's how I spent my day off.
All right. This weekend, 5 o'clock start. could be one of the hottest days ever on Frank Cush Field. If it says it's going to be 105, that means maybe 110, 115 on the field. And you got all these big butt guts coming from Kansas. Are you guys going to just ground and pound and try to just get these guys all gassed?
Hold on just a second. I'm trying to turn up the thermostat just a little bit more. The hotter, the better. You know, I mean, hey, we actually, you know, as you guys know, we obviously train in this stuff. I just think it's a distinct advantage for us. And you know what? We've got to come out and play, you know, good football regardless of the weather. But I certainly think that the home field advantage is going to be even a little bit more so on Saturday afternoon.
Coach, when you look at this team, I mean, KU, even with the 1-4 record, they're better than their record indicates, obviously, when you guys watch them on tape. But the key is Jalen Daniels, their quarterback. Seems as though he's kind of been held in check the last couple games, only like 6 yards rushing against TCU, not really pumping the ball down the field. But what is it about his athleticism that you got to have somewhat of a heads up with in this game?
Well, I think the first thing is that you really, really hit the nail on the head with is that this is not, you know, at the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. Let's be clear about that. But when you turn the tape on, this is not a 1-4 talented team, right? When you think 1-4, you think, maybe not as talented, you know, just not a good football team. This is a good football team. Make no mistake about it. Every game that they've lost has been within a whisker's reach of being a victory. And it's really been more so probably turnovers than anything that's cost these guys from being undefeated right now versus 1-4. And as far as the quarterback's concerned, is, you know, he is a really good athlete, and you know, he does give you problems with how he runs the ball and his athleticism. But I think the one thing that's held them back has been the ability again to not turn the ball over. In their case, turn the ball over, and it's cost them some football games.
Charlie Regal's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Coach, I want to know about how you're going to take your team onto the field, and is it going to be raw, let's go, because you have started slow in the last couple of games? So how does that change just getting onto the field, if it changes at all?
Well, I think that has been something that's been addressed in our locker room for, you know, many days now. You know, obviously with the bye week and then this week of practice, knowing that we have to start quicker. I know we talked about that last week, and that's something that Coach Dillingham has brought up multiple times to our players. I think, Jimmy, you know as well as, you know, most people, that all that rah-rah sounds good in the locker room where the AC set to 72. When you run out at 5 o'clock and that thing's 107.6 on the temperature and probably 112 on the field, that rah-rah doesn't hold up the first time you get smacked in the mouth and that heat's singeing those eyelids. You got to have a burning desire, no pun intended, to play at a high level, play fast and furious football, and that's what we're coming to do on Saturday afternoon.
And now that being said, Charlie, I mean, the hydration goes both ways. Everybody says, well, KU is going to come in and start to fade like tissue paper in a rainstorm. Your guys at that kind of pace and tempo. My question for you, I know you guys practice in the morning just about all the time and in the bubble. Was there any practices, have there been any practices in the heat the last couple weeks?
Not in the afternoon. We're not going to change our schedule, but, you know, you go out there, you know, we practice, we're on the field. Our practice start about 9 o'clock in the morning and they finish about 11:30, you know, and we've stayed outside a couple of those days to, you know, embrace and enjoy some of that nice, crisp, warm weather that the Jayhawks are going to get a taste of on Saturday afternoon. So, you know, it's business as usual for us, man. We're the Sun Devils. It's hot. We know that. Hey, yeah. We're not running from it. You know, we know what we've got to do, and we know what the goal is and what the mission is, and we expect to achieve it on Saturday. And we're again looking forward to enjoying a little football game, 60 minutes in a nice warm environment.
Charlie, you talked about to us last Thursday about self-scouting, looking at the good, bad, and indifferent. I'll never say ugly. But you looked at that. What are some things you feel you guys can improve upon, and what are some of the things that you guys have fixed, hopefully, with the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think one of the things is we've kind of touched on it here and last week is, again, I think it's about mentality of starting fast and having a burning desire to excel or play at a high level. Not to say we didn't have that at the Texas State game and Texas Tech games, but we just weren't as crisp as we were in those first couple of weeks, and we found a way to win at Texas State, and we found a way to lose at Texas Tech, and so I think a lot of it is really a mentality, and then there's been some things on I think in every phase that we wanted to look at and go in and clean up. Now we get long-winded on specifics, but we on third down, obviously. Get off the field quicker, and we didn't necessarily do that against Tech. And then I think, converting some of those passes that Sam would probably like to have had back against Texas Tech. And then, from a special team standpoint, let's not kick the ball out of bounds or get a personal foul on a kickoff return that doesn't get returned. That's bad football. And, like I said, Coach Dillingham has been hard on these guys about being smart and tough. And I think if we do those things and we play smart and tough like we did weeks 1 and 2, we're going to be sitting in a good position come Saturday night after the ball game.
Coach, let me follow up with something you just stated. Are you basically saying that whoever makes the fewest mistakes in this game is going to be the winner?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think you could probably go in college football every Saturday and make that blanket statement, and I try to give you guys a little bit more and the listeners a little more insight than that here every Thursday. It is really probably that simple. We talk to our guys, and I don't like this because I think it bleeds into negative connotations, but I think when you watch college football, more games are lost than probably won, if everyone can understand that, and so for us, though, we've flipped that and said, hey, let's play smart and tough. Make no mistake, this is a really good, I know their record's 1 and 4, but this is a good Kansas football team. They're long, they're big in the trenches, and we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to answer their physicality and match them at the line of scrimmages on both sides of the football. If we do that and we don't make those mistakes, like I said, we're going to be overjoyed come 8:30, our time Saturday night.
Charlie, last but not least, got about a minute here. You guys were scattered throughout the nation, I believe, as far as recruiting was concerned. Is it now at this situation of the season, looking at young men that you're interested in, or just reiterating those that you'd like to offer to make sure that they're doing well?
Well, I think it's twofold, right? You've got the class that's coming up, that you will sign this December. But as you know, the advancement of recruiting is so far beyond looking at 26 and 20 the classes of 27. It's a combination of all of the above. Maintaining and keeping those guys that are committed to us and making sure they're doing their end of the bargain. Playing well, handling their grades, and then we're out looking for future Sun Devils in those 26s and 27 classes. And I think that's critical as we build the program. And there's nothing more critical than winning games, because when you do that, it makes the recruiting a whole lot easier.
Go get them on Saturday, Coach. Thanks for the time today. Appreciate you.
Always appreciate you guys. As always, go Devils.
That's right. Charlie Regal joining us. Thanks to Crest Insurance Group for bringing us Charlie Regal every Thursday for our Sun Devil Report. Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out, crestins.com. That's crestins.com. All right, coming up, tough week to be a Cardinals fan. Oh, will that change with an upset in San Francisco? We'll catch up with Cards beat writer Howard Balzer and get his thoughts. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
D-backs pitching coach Brent Strom, assistant pitching coach Dan Carlson, and bullpen coach Mike Fetters were relieved of their duties with the team. Sun Devil hockey is almost here. ASU will battle Air Force on the road in tomorrow's season opener. We'll have all the action here on Fox Sports 910. Puck drop just after 6. The NCAA found former ASU assistant coach Antonio Pierce in violation of recruiting rules during the COVID-19 dead period regarding former quarterback Jaden Daniels. The current Raiders coach was handed an 8-year show cause punishment. Daniels' mom assisted Pierce in breaking the rules. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker and Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the upper 70s, low 80s, and another hot day for your Friday with daytime highs right around 110, probably breaking yet another record. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Debates may be your best chance to get to know the candidates. Don't miss Arizona's official debates, brought to you by the Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Learn how to watch, listen, and submit a question at azcleanelections.gov/debates. And let's get democracy done.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Attention drivers, stay alert, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, supports the move over law. If you see emergency lights, move over and slow down. Let's keep our roads safe for everyone. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas.
Swoboda throws, intercepted by Fiaseu. Cyrus Fiaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Fiaseu.
Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale is the area's best-kept secret for sports entertainment. Complete with 2,700 square feet of TV screens, playing your favorite sports, an exceptional food and beverage menu, and comfortable seating for all. This is where fans fuel their passion. Located on Scottsdale's premier golf course, DraftKings Sportsbook introduces an electric 19th hole experience to the links. Swing by the course in North Scottsdale to feel all the excitement that football watch parties, Friday happy hours, and weekend brunch have to offer.
Howard's ready, okay?
Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Parenthood
We have
is a
1
rewarding
minute.
journey, but it can also sometimes feel overwhelming. Fortunately, we don't have to figure it all out alone. There is a free and confidential hotline where you can get support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call or text the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline at 833-TLC-MAMA to connect with a trained counselor who really understands and can help. You are not alone. The hotline is here to help. This message was brought to you by the Health Resources and Services Administration.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. Unrivaled Basketball, a new 3-on-3 league for WNBA players in their offseason, announced Wednesday that All-Star center Brittany Griner is the 24th player added to the league. Unrivaled has been announcing the members of its 30-player league one by one in anticipation of its inaugural season starting in January. Griner joins a bevy of stars, including Unrivaled founders Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture Card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2x miles on every purchase. Plus, earn unlimited 5x miles on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years.
Get ready?
Time NFL writer, broadcaster, and Hall of Fame voter.
You're live.
Howard Balzer, now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Howard Balzer now joins us on the right to the guest line. It's Roc and Jimmy B today from Twin Peaks at Deer Valley. And I want to start right out of the gate. Tough week to be an Arizona Cardinal fan, huh? Howard? I mean, coming off that probably one of the worst games that we've seen, at least during the Kyler Murray era. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, it was obviously a bad game that's happened during his era, but I think that there's a lot of collective amnesia that everyone forgets other bad games in the past. And that was a rough one. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And it certainly ended badly when, after the Cardinals cut it to a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter and at least made it maybe somewhat interesting if the defense could get a stop and get the ball back. And of course they couldn't and gave up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to just make it look really bad. And so I still believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's interesting. Early in the season, a lot of people were comparing what the Cardinals are doing with what Detroit did a few years ago when Dan Campbell took over as head coach. And that was brutal there for a while. Even in the second season, where everyone was expecting it to improve, they went 1-6 to start the year before they ended very strong. So I'm not suggesting that will happen, but you also can't overreact to one bad game. I mean, it's funny to me that everyone even after the Detroit game, most people are saying, well, this defense playing a lot better than I thought they would. They're doing this, they're doing that. And, then you have one bad game and all of a sudden the defense is horrible. Monty Ossenfort didn't sign any top players. And you go back to the other argument that had been going on before they started playing pretty good. So we just have to wait and play it out. And that's the thing. And here's the other thing, guys. Talk about collective amnesia. How many times have you guys talked, and I know we did, but how many other times have you guys talked in the preseason, in training camp, other talk shows, other people that said that the beginning of this season is going to be rough, looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
The beginning of this season is going to be rough, right? Everybody was saying that. And said that the big challenge for this team could be if they start 1-5 or 1-6, how will they come out of that? Well, here they are 1-3 and staring at maybe 1-5 right in the face. And all of a sudden everyone's acting shocked and surprised by it because of a bad game against Washington. And I'll give you that in the preseason, most everyone would have thought, yeah, you'd expect them to be 1-3 this point, but you would have thought it would have been with a loss to the Rams and a win over the Commanders, because no one knew what the Commanders would really look like. Well, we saw it, as did Cincinnati the Monday before that. So I think that's why everyone has to take a deep breath. As Aaron Rodgers said, RELAX, and see what happens, going forward. But obviously, a huge challenge Sunday against the 49ers. And here's the thing, too. Everyone's saying, the run game is so bad. They signed low-level defensive linemen. Well, let me tell you something. Justin Jones is a pretty good nose tackle. And I would suggest that most people out there in fandom don't even know what a nose tackle is supposed to do, on a team's defense. But the fact is, in the first 2 games, the Rams played pretty darn good against the run. James Cook had 71 yards for Buffalo, averaging 3.7 a carry. They shut down Kyron Williams in the game against the Rams, and the run defense was playing pretty good. Then Justin Jones got hurt in that Detroit game, and all of a sudden Roy Lopez is playing 71% of the snaps. I had a story on that this week at Cards Wire. Other defensive linemen are playing a whole lot more snaps than they've been accustomed to, and 2 games they can't stop the run. Is that coincidence? I don't think so. But those are the things you have to figure out a way to try and overcome. But they lost a pretty good player there for the season in Justin Jones. I heard people say, well, he only had 4 tackles. Well, so what? Who's counting tackles by nose tackles?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Those guys have those guys, their roles and their assignments and what and their responsibilities are a lot different. But people don't want to hear that. They just want they just want to look at the numbers. And so it's but it's tough because you have the 49ers and look at this. Jordan Mason, I don't know if people realize this, their running back, he's second in the league in rushing. They haven't missed a beat with Christian McCaffrey out. Now, he's not the pass receiver out of the backfield that McCaffrey is, but the guy's got 447 yards in 4 games and averaging, I think, 4.7 a carry. So that's going to be a heck of a challenge for this defense, obviously, on Sunday in Santa Clara.
Howard Balzer is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Howard, the thing that I think fans got over their tips of their skis on was the way that they put up over 40 points against the Rams, and not considering that the Rams were beat up and banged up, and the 3 of us were part of the Rams line. And I think fans just went crazy. Oh, did you see that? They put up over 40. Here we go. And then they didn't go. And I think with what Washington did to the Cardinals, not only did they do it to the Cardinals, but they did it on the Cardinals' home field. It might have been fans might have been able to stomach it if it would have happened in D.C., but it didn't. It happened on the home field.
No, they're all good points. And I think that's, what it speaks to, which happens all the time in the NFL. Let's be honest. We've talked about this before. It's the most overreactive league that there is. And when I talk about that collective amnesia, it's easy to say that stuff before the season and all that. Then you get into the emotions of the season, and everybody just loses their marbles when there's tough things happen. And that, and then especially last week, they go down and score on the first time they have the ball. They've scored a touchdown on the first drive of every game this year, but then they hardly did anything on offense after that and could not convert third downs. The first 2 weeks, this team was number 1 in the NFL on third down conversions. At the end, after the first conversion against Detroit, and then for the first 4 last week, they were unsuccessful on 12 consecutive third down plays. And if you're doing that, well, guess what? Not only is it not going to move the chains and allow you to get some rhythm in your offense, but it's also putting the defense out there on the field once again. And so that's, they were on the field for 72 plays in that game against Washington. So what you say is right. There's no question that was a bad win, and it's got everybody going crazy. Now, we'll see if they can rebound and at least be competitive for 4 quarters against the 49ers. But hey, I'll tell you something. They weren't competitive against the 49ers last season in 2 losses. And, this is a team, they're banged up. They've got a lot of injuries. So we'll see if they're able to at least, like I said, keep it somewhat close and be competitive in this game.
Speaking of banged up, this team's a little banged up as well. What's the latest on Matt Prater? I know we're talking about a kicker, but he's the one who keeps this team at least in games at some point.
It's a real mystery for this reason. I had the story last week that the Cardinals had 2 kickers in for tryouts on Friday. No team brings kickers in for tryouts, unless they have a guy injured, but it's early in the week, right? So when I saw that Friday, and one of them was the guy they ended up signing, Chad Ryland, to the practice squad, when I saw that, it was before the injury report came out, and I said, I was expecting to see Matt Prater on the injury report. And so I figured they're just signing this guy just in case, right? Because Prater was at practice all last week. Prater, then he kicked in the game. He wasn't on the report, and then he kicked in the game. And then all of a sudden, this week, he shows up with a left knee injury. And you're going, well, when did that happen? And the first thing you think of is, well, was there something going on last week that they knew about? And they brought in the kicker just in case. But if there was something going on last week, he should have been on the injury report. So I don't. It's really weird. But you say he's just a kicker, but the guy's one of the best kickers in the NFL. And here's a guy, if he has to kick on Sunday, who wasn't very good in his rookie year last year with New England, and now if he's gonna have to kick on the road at San Francisco, and I'm going, you couldn't have found somebody better. I mean, there's some veteran guys out there that you would have thought might be a better choice, but this is who they're going with. If in fact, Prater can't kick on Sunday, and but Trey McBride is back. That should be a plus. I don't know what he's listed. He haven't put out the report yet today. He was limited yesterday. I would expect he'll play. That should help the offense, and that was certainly a contributing factor to what happened on offense, against Washington. And again, we'll just see where the growth is. People start playing better. Kelvin Beachum, had some issues there with blocking. He didn't practice yesterday because of the hamstring that kept him out the week before. So heck, this team is getting so unlucky. The guy they picked up on the practice squad a couple weeks ago, Angelo Blackson, played on Sunday and actually played 33% of the snaps, which is a pretty big number for a guy who's only been with the team. Guess what? He went on the practice squad injured list yesterday, and he can't play. He can't practice for 4 weeks. I mean, they're getting their practice squad guys injured. That's how this is starting. This is how this is starting to look.
This could really spiral out of control. Let's just hope not. Yeah, because it's 3 out of the 4 teams I think made the playoffs last year, and it's on the road. Oh, it could get ugly. Let's hope not. But like you said from the outset, Howard, it's what we all talked about in the offseason, that the first half of the season it was a tough stretch. So people need to just kind of just chill, because this was expected.
And I saw, in a lot of the comments where, there's a plan what this team is doing, and now all of a sudden after last week's game, people are going, well, this just proves that Monty Ossenfort's rebuilding program isn't working, right? After 21 games,
process.
Right? Come on, let's, again, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this, but the way some people go totally, to DEFCON 1 is a little bit over the top. But you're right. You never know what's going to happen for the rest of the way. That's the way the NFL is. And you just got, no matter what's going on, you have to find ways to win games. And so, we'll see what happens over these next couple of weeks. The Packers are okay, right? I mean, they're a pretty good team, but they're not great, but it is on the road. And then you got the Chargers at home on Monday Night Football. So, we'll see what the next 3 games look like.
Howard, thank you as always. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Howard Balzer. Follow him on Twitter, XHBalzer721. He's part of the USA Today Cards Wire. We'll come back and tell you what's on tap tonight as we finish up out here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Valley Town Center. It's the Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
The pitch. He struck him out. And the City Royals move on to the division series. This improbable season.
See from Kansas City throughout the regular season how they get things done. Strong starting pitching. The bullpen came in huge in this series. We saw the defense flash in the glove, left field, second base, and just the timely hitting. Not a ton of it, but enough of it.
So one more to go, and that'll be today, coming up here just after 4 o'clock. As who do you think is going to win this series?
I think the Mets win.
I know Major League Baseball would probably like to see New York
They would
Mets,
like to
but,
see that, yes.
You know, the Brewers made a comeback.
They did.
Yesterday. I had said about 2 weeks ago, I thought the Brewers were the Diamondbacks of last year. I just think they were flying under the radar. They kind of just, all of a sudden they were there.
Right.
And they had a good season. And I love to see a small market team
have
success.
Yeah, but
they already got the Yankees.
You already got KC in, so you got your small market team.
And if San Diego, they're in, they're a small market.
Yes.
So you're starting to see Detroit. That's a good size market.
That is.
But I'm at Cleveland, good small size market.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Major League Baseball playoffs is here, and Saturday I'll get it all kicked off once we get this one under our belt. So I'm anxious to see this. Tonight, you got some NFL football here at Twin Peaks, as we will get a chance to see the Atlanta Falcons and
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Which, this Bucs team, I think is the real deal with Baker Mayfield.
I'm telling you right now.
They blew out the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles are having their issues.
They are.
But Baker Mayfield is got to be, if he continues, he's going to be in the conversation for MVP.
When all the talk was in Cleveland, they got to get rid of him, and he had that season where he hurt his throwing shoulder, and he still tried to play. The season before that, they went to the NFL playoffs. He won a game at Pittsburgh and then lost at Kansas City the next week in the last minute when Patrick Mahomes took the Chiefs down the field and scored the winning points. So they run him out of town. He kicks around a little bit. One of the greatest games that Baker Mayfield will be remembered for, the night for the LA Rams, where he had just signed. He had been in camp for 3 days. They trot him out on the field. He throws a winning touchdown pass. So if he finally gets then to Tampa Bay, and this coaching staff and the offensive coordinators that they now have used, Canellis, by the way, was the first one. He's now the head coach for Carolina. But Baker Mayfield showed what he could really do. He got healthy. He's always been a very cerebral quarterback, and he throws a great ball. He really does. And people don't look at that aspect. The other aspect of his game, he's very accurate for the most part.
Yeah, I just enjoy watching him play.
He's fun.
Got a little Brett Favre in him.
Yeah,
he's just a lot of fun. The action will continue in the NFL. I got a dozen more games on Sunday. The undefeated Minnesota Vikings, they'll take on the Jets in London. What's that going to be, 6 a.m. start here, I think? Really early on Sunday.
I'll pick it up about halftime.
I don't know if Arena will be open or any of the Twin Peaks will be open that early. But then you got Texas play host to the Bills in a matchup of between the AFC front runners. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, will visit Joe Burrow and the Bengals. The Steelers, they got the Cowboys on Sunday night in a rematch of Super Bowl 10, 13, and 30. 30 was the one that was here. And then Week 5 will conclude with the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on a pretty good Saints team for Monday Night Football. We'll be at the Trophy Bar. But Thursday's where it all starts here to watch tonight's game. And now the Bucks, they are banged up a little bit.
They are.
But I think they'll be okay. They've had the Atlanta Falcons number over the years, and if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, is it Godwin or Goodwin? Godwin are good to go. They'll be all right. But they did sign Sterling Shepard this past week to be a number 3 guy.
2.
So I think they'll be okay.
Let me ask you, do you think that they would be in the hunt for Devontae Adams as well?
If he wants to play there. This Devontae Adams thing is just odd. It's been every talk show the last 2 days have been. It's just been the story. I mean, I thought the Saints would be a player. Let's see what happens after tonight.
Yeah.
Jets. Of course, with Rodgers, you reunite those guys,
right?
I think he could go where he wants to go. I just hate this. I hate this part of the sports. I hate when the players have so much control of where they want to go.
He doesn't really have that much control. It's not like the Brandon Ayuk situation where he had a lot of power in that deal. But he's
in their ear, I'm sure, right?
Well, yeah. But, I mean, he's 31, I think, right now. He's dealing with a hamstring issue. So do you still pull the trigger even though he's now 31 and dealing with a hamstring issue?
I just think people don't have the money for it. I mean, looking at his contract right now, he's got 2 years left, $72 million. So if you're the Jets, I don't know how much money you have left. I know Hassan Reddick, he's not on the team. He's still losing money day by day and not playing.
Right.
So I think Jets, Saints, you're right, but the Raiders are going to take the best deal to get that second-round pick.
30.
So what they want for him.
So wrap it up. By the way, tomorrow, right around this time, well, actually half hour earlier, we'll have Jake Plummer with us for about 30 minutes at Wright Toyota. He's going to be out there. So
20.
Check us out. We're going to have some fun at Wright Toyota beginning at 1 o'clock. Everything else is up on our website at rockandmanuch.com. Thanks to Twin Peaks for having us once again every Thursday. Thanks to Coors Light and Blue Moon. Text Peaks to 59925. Get in our sweepstakes.